Welcome everybody to Welcome for Blurs and Blurs. And as I mess up this intro, welcome everybody to Give It podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts for the most, Black Spartan, Show Guy Joe, Tafara TV. Gentlemen, on this day before the turkey decides to see the end of an axe, how you guys feeling?
Going for a ride, so I'm good.
You got them both too.
Yeah, I was not messing around with this. And then I didn't see your message. I swear to God, I live in a dead zone sometimes. So I didn't see your message till after I left the Best Buy. I was like, I'm supposed to get a comic with it. She's like, usually they give it to us if it's a bonus, but like, does it say it's in the order? But then Best Buy has those ugly, like, giant red stickers they want to put on everything. So when I get in the car and take it off, I see, comic book included. And I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, by the way, first off, my bad. Second, if anyone else comes in here with the same issue, that's why. Also, maybe don't slap it just completely over the label. Yeah, if you got it on the Switch, this thing is like the size of the palm of my hand.
Nice. Oh, I'm jealous of you already. Joe, how you feeling?
Long week of work. Gonna be another long week of work. Looking for, can't talk about stuff like that on the air because of things, but I'm okay. I am finishing out MechWarrior Clans. I've already figured out what I'll be moving on to next. So after that is Megaton Musashi.
Nice.
So we'll start seeing that on Total Justice Gaming. Ultraman is slowly coming to a close on Show a Guy Joe. We'll figure out what to watch afterwards because this week's episode was very confusing, and I'm sure Tafari will have as many questions as I have when we review it on Wednesday because I honestly don't know where the show's going now.
Yeah, I'm very curious to how they wrap that up.
It gets even more confusing because of this week.
Wait, so when do the new episodes actually drop?
Friday night at 6:30.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll be dealing with this for a while then.
Well, like I said, this week makes it even more confusing.
Fantastic.
That's definitely saying a lot. Well, before we get into our usual stick, guys, we'll let you know that even though we are a little bit more on the leveled up side, our words do fly, but we don't cuss that much. At the same time, guys, there may be things in movies, of trailers, and other shows that might be shown that, again, might be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So how do we actually start this? With a surprise, because I did not see this coming as Lizane, hey, on my work phone. What's up, fam? Hey, Lizane, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. So, guys, with that being said, I don't think no one saw a live action How to Train Your Dragon teaser was coming. So this was very interesting. So, guys, before I play this trailer, have you guys actually seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched it in full. I didn't. Has it been 2 decades since the first movie yet?
Yeah.
Sorry, Laney, my bad. The first name always throws me off. My bad.
Elizabeth Hart. You think you know a person? Who?
Right, Lysane. We've been calling her Laney this entire time. I see why she wants to go by that because you know what? That's all right. We all got weird first names. I'm not gonna knock you for that. What you're saying?
Not even that. I thought it was legit Laney this whole time.
Right, me too.
I remember when I worked in radio, I had a friend, her name, I didn't know the radio names were completely made up. I thought it was a nickname.
So, are we seriously discussing this like this is an Aaron discussion?
Yes.
Well, I've never heard Lysane. I didn't, or that lady.
Because I'm the same way because I was like, Lysane? I know Hart because I'm like, that's probably Laney, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Or that one is a nickname for the other. Like I had a friend in radio, her name was Danny B, and I'm just like, I thought that was like your like nickname. She's like, no, my name's Alyssa. I'm like, I just been lying to me for 3 years. Cool.
So
now, Tafari, you can't talk because we just now found out how to pronounce your name about 8 months ago.
It was at least in the same ballpark. Like Danielle Buchanan and Alyssa, not her real last name is too. I don't know where Danny B came from. I thought radio was like nickname. No, I found out they just make shit up completely out the blue, and it's like there's no story, no relation to it. They can just that and then just run. It's like an Xbox gamer tag.
Pretty much.
If it makes you guys feel better, we had a scenario where I ran into a person named Jasmine, but it was phonetically spelled out as it. So Jazzuhman.
How the
And we sat there and we looked at it, and finally dawned on me, it's like, this person is named Jasmine. This is the most. I couldn't even like think of a good word.
you had
One of my
nothing.
colleagues says like it's the most ghetto ass spelling of Jasmine I ever did see.
See,
I had a cousin named Lavender, and then for years, well, first off, his name was Quan my entire life. Then when we both got in trouble at school, I found out his name was Lavender, and then I wrote it down. I'm like, buddy, your name is Lavender. Did your mom name you a color?
Yes, Laney, you did spark up a combo because now you're the second person. Now, look, I'm all for keeping your name short and whatnot, but I did not put Lassane and Laney in the same sentence. I will admit that. But anyway, How to Train Your Dragon. They did come out with a live action teaser trailer. If you haven't seen it, well, here it is.
When you carry this axe, you carry all of us with you.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
But you will.
I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking! It's okay. I won't hurt you.
All right. Now that was the teaser trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. The live action, as you can see, will be in theaters June 13th. I'm gonna be honest. In the end, this is a teaser. This is not the full on trailer we expect. I'm pretty sure it'll probably come along as we get closer to the other side of 2025. But first impressions, it seems like it's in the ballpark. Toothless looks like a kind of similar to himself in the animated in the CGI series within the DreamWorks original picture. So I think it looks cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I didn't know we needed it, but I'll take it because they released learned from everyone else, and they have. It's almost like they took Toothless from the animated and just put him into live action with almost barely any tweaks, but it fits.
Yeah. Joe?
We basically made a movie. The original movie is basically a PlayStation 3 game, and this movie is a PlayStation 5 Pro version for all the dragons. Because all the dragons just look like they are ultra high def versions of the dragons with a much better texture map on them.
That's what it is.
Gerard Butler doing a really great job with Stoic, and I know why he's back because he only has to be in 1.5 movies, and he gets his payday.
Yeah,
everybody else, I do know. I want to see what everybody else looks like. Clearly, he is not going to. The kid doing Hiccup is not going to sound like Jay Birchall. That's fine. I'm okay with that. My biggest issue is that we are going to Lion King the live action movie, and it'd be a 1-to-1 remake with nothing different. So basically, I'm seeing the same movie again. I was honestly, when I heard about this, I was really hoping they'd stick a little bit more close to the book because in the book, name of the dragon, I forget the name of the dragon. Toothless is like pocket sized.
Is he?
Because that's why no one ever sees a Night Fairy because they're so small. So I was kind of hoping this would be like a more faithful adaptation of the book, rather than just a complete remake of the movie. I hope to God it's not a full 1-to-1 remake because that'd be a little bit disappointing.
Also,
But-
not to cut you off, be completely out of the ballpark. Go see Wicked if you get a chance, but also, please understand it is completely different from the book. The play itself and what they're doing, there are differences, but still enjoy it because the actors in it are completely great and should be praised. And of course, for a guy, and like I said, for a guy like me, I try to watch some theater. I mean, the greatest show. I mean, probably the closest thing to theater I'm going to get is probably the greatest showman. Just because those songs stick in my head from time to time. But no, seriously, give Wicked a shot. But I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off. Where else you going to say?
You're good. You're good. Like I said, I just hope it's more, a little bit different and not a straight 1-to-1. If I go see the movie, I'm just seeing the same movie I saw 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because if you do that, like nothing's going to be surprising.
True. Well, I will say this for all those that are watching, let us know what you think. Do we need a live action How to Train Your Dragon, or are you going to pass it up? I know I'm probably going to wind up taking my kids to see it because
I think you're obligated.
Oh yeah, the kid. I mean, Obi's gonna be 2, and oh, good lord, Ziri's gonna be close to being 1. Yeah, June, July, August. Yeah, she'll be close to be turning 1 year old by the time the movie comes out. But again, let us know what you think. Some quick news before we get to our next trailers.
Did you see they have the cast announced already?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
look
Red
up
Sun
how-
does not
look up How
look
to Train
nothing
Your Dragon.
alike.
Yeah, if you look up How to Train Your Dragon cast, you're gonna get a big square, and it's I forget, are the Viking siblings, are they twins or no?
They are
Sibling-
identical twins,
Okay, so is that why everybody's
which is a
freaking out?
big problem for the live action cast because they
I was gonna say, because we have diversity in the cast for the sister, and everyone's losing their minds.
Oh yeah,
Well-
that part. Hang on, I got you covered.
I
Yeah,
don't mind that they're different, but they are supposed to be identical twins, not
Yeah,
fraternal.
yeah, because they're trying to say Astrid, and of course, for those out there, I like to call y'all people basement dwellers who want to nitpick every part of the movie. Yes, Astrid in the animated series is blonde and blue-eyed. Of course, Miss Parker, who's playing Astrid, is definitely not fitting that. It still does not mean you cannot enjoy it. It
No,
doesn't.
that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not
It's
bad.
not.
casting.
It's not bad casting. And again, this
Oh,
is the
look,
thing.
Frosted back with Gruber.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it. It's really not. I mean, actually, I think it's smart casting just to me. But at the same time, you're going to have some folks that are just going to just nitpick. And I don't see why, because again, if you don't like the movie, don't go see it. The same way we treated Joker 2. We didn't like it, so we didn't go see it. I'm pretty sure somebody liked it. I'm pretty sure they're waiting for it to come to digital and steelbook. I'm pretty sure about that. But
This is about to become the Sasuke thing because everyone's going to start saying, "Have you ever seen a Black Viking?"
I mean, that's the thing about it. It's like, it's like Vikings themselves. We it's like, it's not, you know what it is? It's like the Little Mermaid, where they use science to explain why mermaids can't be black. You wanted to use science to explain a mythical creature cannot contain melanin.
All
Just-
time, we just even in the original, even in the cartoon, they had a Latino and / deaf mermaid. So
Oh yeah, King Triton got around.
not
Let's
even
be honest.
that. Not even that. In the animated series for the Little Mermaid, she had a
Yeah.
friend. She had a friend named Gabriella, and Gabriella, I believe, was, I don't know if she was deaf, but I know she was mute and from a Spanish ocean. And then when you get to the actual movie, I'm like, that's literally one child for each of the 7 seas. This dude clearly, but they all had the same mom. So how does whatever Kingdom Hearts magic made that work?
Pretty much. But again, just if you want to go enjoy it, go enjoy it. If not, you don't need to do a whole TikTok deep dive into something that really doesn't. It really ain't that deep. But
They have bills to pay. Will, what else will they make content off? Original stuff?
I mean, until that trend dies away,
Mhm.
and everybody starts reacting to every Gundam, and this is what I've seen today, a
Mhm.
reaction channel doing every Gundam launch. And like, you're just watching the launch, not the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Just the kid getting into the cockpit and turning the computer on.
And that scream. I'm just saying that just screams volumes. But like I said, enjoy it if you want to. But it's quick news.
I'm surprised after the Norseman. Surprised none of those guys got brought over here. I think Willem Dafoe would have fit somewhere great in this cast.
You
say that, and I think he would make an excellent God, bad as Will tonight.
It's spreading. It's not just me. It's spreading.
He would probably make an excellent version of the villain for the second movie.
I honestly, I hope he gets cast. If not in this film, I hope he's in a future film because he was great in The Northman. He was part of the reason I watched it. Yeah.
Well, either way, William Dafoe still needs to play the Joker at least one time before he decides to hang it up. But anyway, getting to these quick news we got, guys. So, Star Wars Visions. We do know it is coming back. Season 3 is being confirmed for next year. Of course, for all those that don't know what Star Wars Vision is, Star Wars Vision is basically giving a whole bunch of independent companies a shot at telling a story in a Star Wars universe. Season 1 and Season 2 had a lot of great stories. I have said a long time ago, this is nothing but an audition to basically do animation for Star Wars. And a lot of those animation companies that actually made those short stories really should be given the helm on this. I've got nothing bad to say about Visions. It is a way for other Star Wars stories to be told in different directions and different angles, and I've enjoyed every season. But what do you guys think?
I mean, this is where people first learned about Studio Saru before Dandadan became popular, but now everyone's paying attention to them, and this has a lot of different animation houses. Studio Trigger got to do with Star Wars. Now they're doing the 40th. They just finished the 40th anniversary Transformers thing, music video. So, we just get to see more and more really well done, awesome anime studios doing all sorts of things. Also, on a side note, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. Are we getting a Star Wars What If series?
The person
I keep seeing that being passed around, but nothing confirmed.
The person I would love to ask that question is currently playing Assassin's Creed right now. Because Kira would know above anybody else. I honestly don't.
Laney, you got Kira's number. Give her a call and see.
Because Kira would know if that is true or not. She's the person that's on the Star Wars pulse.
Let me see if she's still. Yep, she is still on. Good luck with that.
Yeah, she's still playing.
I wouldn't be mad at it because I will. Well, that's my one chance of getting Star Killer, but that also tells me he's never getting canonized.
Yeah,
he was canonized.
Was he?
Yeah, in Andor, in the antique shop, you see the Star Killer armor.
Oh,
I've always seen a bunch of fans arguing that was just the Sith Stalker armor. Yeah, they said that was just an Easter egg, not an actual.
It is an Easter egg, but it also
have to go back and
finish got to come from somewhere.
I never finished watching Andor. I need to actually go back and give that a shot. Also, let me point this out too. The studios are going to be a part of it this time around. Will include Dave Production, Kamikaze Duga, Anime, Kamina Citrus Company, Polygon Pictures, Production ID, and Project Studio Q, along with the other studio that Joe had mentioned, will be the ones that'll be in this season of Star Wars Vision. So, Tafari, Joe, anything else y'all wanted to add to that?
I only saw a few episodes of the first Visions, but I kind of like seeing not just so much the what ifs, but seeing everyone's different styles. One of the most recent people I saw do it that kind of put me onto that whole genre was there's an episode of Bob's Burgers from like a couple seasons ago. I want to say they switch animation styles almost every 30 seconds. So they go.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, they went through a myriad of studios in one episode, and everyone brought like their own unique flavor. Like it's one episode, but like when they switch rooms or the frame switches to a new character or the camera angle shifts, it just switches like that, and the episode just carries on. And I'm like, that was actually unique, and I'd like to see that done again. So I kind of like when they do things like these.
Also, production IDs in this. That means someone's going to grab their face and get jiggly eye.
I mean, you're not wrong. But the other news I have before we get to our next couple of trailers, it is kind of in the comic book area, but I'm just gonna just show it because me and Joe in the comic book pools have been following what Predator versus the Avengers, Black Panther versus Predator, which is actually a very good read by you. Well, now apparently we are going to be getting a Spider-Man, Predator versus Spider-Man.
So,
go ahead, Joe.
This is a continuation of Black Panther, by the way.
Okay.
So this is apparently going to be like an every so often series where Predator just like shows up in the Marvel universe to mess with people, and it starts with Black Panther and goes to Spider-Man. My only question this entire time is, how is Predator getting around the spider sense?
That was my question.
It's got to be something about Predator speed or something or this is what the elite class of Predator who's been in the most amount of fights, maybe, or Marvel Rivals, y'all have the chance to do the funniest thing right now.
Because that's my thing. Because Spider-Man's spider sense is dang near borderline precognition. How is the Predator going to combat that? Is my question. Considering the fact that yes, he has stealth technology. Yes, you have invisibility. Yes, your hunter skills are supreme, but I'm just saying, you're going against a guy whose reflexes and spider sense is dang near godlike.
Now, we are forgetting, Kraven is basically a Predator. He has gotten one over on Spider-Man numerous times, but by God in heaven, this thing better be opening with the Predator raising the skull of Kraven.
It should.
Hunter, the Hunter x Hunter, literally, that I would not be against it, especially after the last game. I feel like everyone has to do a great job of trying to surpass the last game because that Kraven was fantastic.
Oh, Last Hunt, yeah.
I'll give it a shot. Like I said, Predator versus Black Panther has been great. Predator versus Avengers also good. So yeah, I'm willing to give this a shot once it comes out. But go ahead, Joe.
We do have one other thing of comic book news we can touch on real fast. The Thunderbolts is getting a new book. It is Bucky's current lineup of the Thunderbolts, fighting the original Thunderbolts under the leadership of Doctor Doom, because this is still part of the World Under Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, World Under Doom, because Doom is Sorcerer Supreme. So he's gathering the original Thunderbolts to fight the other Thunderbolts, because the last time the Thunderbolts book came out, that was supposed to be for the movie. This is the new movie tie-in book. But for me, it's another Thunderbolts book I can add to my collection. And Doom is a Thunderbolt.
You mean the Vault?
It's good.
I give you that, Joe. If anybody know that with no Thunderbolts, I'm definitely pointing them in your direction. I consider you the expert on that. But yeah, no, I'll still get that. I still can't wait for that movie. But Tafari, you did mention Rivals, and that's actually a good segue for the next trailer that we do have, because Marvel Rivals decided to show us what Hawkeye would look like in the game.
Well, snap! I missed this completely.
I never miss. I can't miss. I am too good at this. Please give me a challenge. Can't hide from this one. Can't let the arrows do all the work. Here we are again. You holding up okay? Woo! I never miss. Hawkeye's back. It's been a while.
All right. So that was the Marvel's Rivals Hawkeye release. I love how I say I never miss, and the next 30 seconds is him missing like 5 shots.
I like that he keeps the Ronin blade.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that. He did keep the Ronin blade. It is a little bit more of the revamp style, which I do like. I got no complaints. Joe, what do you think?
It's fine. I'm just getting like, oh, he's the archer bow and arrow reskin of the archer bow and arrow guy from Overwatch. He just doesn't fire a giant dragon arrow. He fires hard-like copies of himself onto another area.
Yeah.
He lays down more fire. I'm good. I'm okay with sticking with magic. I know where I'm going to be. Unless they put out an Emma Frost, but like that's about it.
Emma Frost going to be interesting. Well, for all those that are keeping up with Rivals, come December 6th, you will be able to play with Hawkeye.
2 weeks.
Yeah, so we ain't too far off. I mean, once Turkey Day is done, then Miss Carrie will be defrosted, and then I feel bad for every retail person that's still working this holiday season. Y'all, again, for all those, just for a short stint before we go to the next trailer, be kind to your retail people. They're about to have the busiest part of the year, and 90% of it is hearing the same Mariah Carey song for about a good 12 hours a day. So please be kind. Be nice.
The fact she plays into the gag, and now she posts every November 1st with like an entire production every year.
But you know what's crazy about this? If you look up the royalties she gets from that song every year, it outdoes most number one hits.
Yeah, and apparently, I think it's some Latin American country. The holiday season for them starts in September or something weird. I forget they're also on like a different calendar. I forget where it is, but she starts making her money like 2 months in advance. November.
Crazy. I leave it alone. But hey, when you got a song that's timeless, that's just guaranteed income. But
I'm curious. The original creator of that song get a cut off of Mariah too?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what happens in the next 20, 30 years when some other starlet comes up and gets a popular version. Does Mariah just bring down the hammer and say, not on my watch, or what?
Pretty much. I can see her doing
her Nick Cannon's kids.
I mean, I could see her kind of doing that personally. But either way, I guess we'll find out. In a couple of decades. But Virtua Fighter 5 RVO. Again, we brought this up, I want to say 3 weeks ago. When we thought when I was, saying that Sega may come out with a console, but I still think they're going to. But they did tell us that we are getting a new Virtua Fighter, and this is actually the Virtua Fighter 5 opening schematic. But Joe, you said you had something about this, right? About how 5 looked.
What? Sorry. Dying.
Remember what you said about the opening for Virtua Fighter 5? You said it had some similar differences to already a cutscene or an opening.
Yeah,
before?
So this is Virtua Fighter 5's cutscene. It's just this is the updated, updated with balances and whatnot and rollback.
Gotcha.
But this is still Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown.
Cool. Well, for all those that haven't seen it, here it is.
Do you feel no matter where you are, even if you're on a distant star, will reach you without fail, wake you up. No matter who you are, our spirit will not fade, washing away the sadness, your heart. Oh! What gotta do is our destiny. Having to fight to truly get each other. So stop with those empty words. Show who you really are. And don't forget that love is what doesn't make it real. Fighters hate Our strength might fade away, but our love will keep its flame. A flame that will stand forever. Oh, oh, Birdie soul, no matter how far you are, our form will just survive. On its form, the rest of this endless fight. Oh, oh,
All right, so that was the opening somatic intro for Virtua Fighter 5 R Revo. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of hoping to see some gameplay or at least something in the middle. Maybe it comes down the road because again, we are already getting Fatal Fury City of the Wolves coming out very soon next year. Street Fighter 6 goes into its next season. There's a I know I'm forgetting another fighting game somewhere down the line that's going to be coming out with something, a new season as well. But I mean, should we be worried that we're not seeing gameplay, or is it just like we just need to wait in due time for something to come up?
No, we shouldn't be worried because this is Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown. If you boot up Like a Dragon or Like a Dragon 8, you can go play it right now in the arcade for free. Well, not for free. You still got to spend money in the game to play the game. But you can go play it right now. It's just that version of the game, which is why Ryuga Studios is part of it. They just took that game. They took the full game out of Like a Dragon and added rollback and balance patches. This is still the 2009 Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown game from back then, which explains the early aughts video game butt rock. But we all call what it is. We know what it is.
I know. You're right. I know.
I was gonna say, do they so this is I was gonna say, how old is this game that it fits inside an entire another game?
2009.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is this Virtua Fighter 5 HD.
Pretty much.
This is past that one. This is Ultimate Showdown.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, though, just because I was a fan of Virtua Fighter, I was always hoping that it would kind of continue, even though Street Fighter did kind of have its way. Virtua Fighter kind of went into the great beyond, and now they're trying to bring it back. Again, I'm looking forward to it. I still want to play just because, that brings back memories. But yeah,
Sega's making moves. What can I tell you? Speaking of Sega making moves,
go for it.
Segue into Sega making moves.
Okay.
Before I talk about the box.
Yeah, that cool thing that everyone
Is it working?
So yeah, they're doing this movie promo, and they said a week ago. So I thought tickets was coming out today. I didn't know they meant like when is the 25th? Because that is
25th is actually this upcoming Monday.
It's such a random ass day. So they said like last Friday tickets in 1 week. So I'm telling everybody tickets come out today, and then I woke up feeling like an asshole. So, but they did this promo now where they made an actual working Sega Genesis game and sent it to people. And some people actually had to go dig out Sega Genesis to actually figure this out. And one person I met at Sonic Expo, his name's Jack Botnick. He actually dresses up like old school Eggman. And he's like, hey, did anyone try the Sonic 3 code on this? And I'm like, what? I get how you got there, but what made you think to try that initially?
Oh, is that this video here?
It should just be the short.
Oh, let me go to the short then. Sorry.
Yeah, the short from IGN basically goes over it real quick.
Okay. 1 second. I kind of went a different direction. My bad. Okay, here it is.
Paramount made a Sega Genesis cartridge in the year 2024 for Sonic 3, and it has a mini game with a crazy Easter egg. You're greeted with the classic Sega title card, and the main menu has characters, posters, and an unlock option. The character screen lets you hear a new line of dialogue for each Sonic character.
Walk away before you get hurt. The Robotniks have entered the chat.
Are you sure you want to challenge the fastest creature in the universe?
The poster screen lets you scroll through 4 Sonic movie posters in 16-bit quality, and the unlock screen opens up a little mini game of Sonic running away from Shadow. You can jump and run left to right, but there's no way to win or lose during this gameplay. However, if you input the famous Sonic 3 cheat code up, up, down, down, up, 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 Sonic says this.
Hey, I said no cheat code. Okay. Just this one.
And then the menu reveals the new trailer drops on Monday, November 25th. And if you're wondering what the IGN review is of that Sonic minigame, it's obviously a 10 out of 10, and that's definitely an official IGN review for sure. If you're my boss, please don't watch this. Paramount.
Yeah, it's IGN. Take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, everybody got these.
Really, Kira? Oh,
I haven't listened to the full album. Why is everyone tweeting that same amount of A's?
Because it's because it's on one of K-Dot's new tracks on his album. Kira, thanks for watching. I know you just got off your live playing Assassin's Creed. Hey, is Star Wars doing a what if type of deal in the universe? You would know. Let us know, please, in the comments, please, and thank you. But no.
I was just about to say, compress that audio, baby. Man, that's the good stuff.
That is the most authentic audio file.
That is funny.
But yeah, it came with so you get the game, the cartridge, and they actually wrote everyone like handwritten letters. I know only a couple, like dozen of these went out. And yeah, you get the posters, you get voice cards from everybody, and the most old school ass audio. Maybe it sounds better if you put it up to an RCA TV. Maybe that's the trick.
You have to downgrade from HD go back to component cable. You have to go back.
Converters are going to be selling out at Walmart this weekend.
Man, they got to go through mode 7 on this thing.
Did anyone see the dude who took?
Okay, sounds
about right.
Thanks, Kira.
Did anybody see it was a dude, he took Fallout 5 on like his PS5 and put it to like a 70s bubble TV.
Yes.
The steps he took to get there, the whole line of adapters. I have a
Megazord that equals that many steps.
I'm telling you, I don't know why they make them, but yeah, you can get a VGA to HDMI or an HDMI to VGA. I don't know what predicament outside of that you would need the second one, but they make it.
Right.
Have you ever been to a con and seen those laptops?
I'm not trying to have flashbacks. My IT help desk kicks in whenever I see that.
Wait, still the VGA? So the laptop's still a HDMI to a VGA adapter?
Yeah. Which doesn't make any sense because you have to literally add power from one medium to another because technically VGA to HDMI can't work without a lot of help.
I think we'll just describe the transitive property.
Yeah. I'm just going.
I feel like it's easier to go one way than it is to go the other way because at least HDMI, the TVs at least come with a way to plug. Most of them have it in, so it's like built in there, but going from VGA or going from HDMI downgrading to VGA, I feel like would be more of the resource heavy part.
We actually had to do that last weekend because at our art museum, we're currently doing a manga and Japanese myth showcase. Mm-hmm. So they had us come in and run like a video game thing, and a lot of it was Super Nintendo because Super Nintendo had like the old some of the old fighting games that came from Japan, like the Ranma, the Gundam, and whatnot. So we had the HDMI to VGA to make the Super Nintendo work. Yeah, for it to play, because the up conversion though from that going from VGA from RF to VGA to HDMI, dear God. I mean, it'll look okay.
That Super Nintendo is still just the red, white, and yellow cables, though, right?
Super Nintendo is the RF connect. It can be the RF connectors, or it can be the red, or it can be the RCA. It can be either one. Yeah, it could still be the RF if you're going straight to cable. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this one, they just whatever input you have, as long as you got like the old 3, and then you get to the TV, it's just the opposite way, where the HDMI is the input and the VGA is the output. That's what trips me out.
Yeah. Oh, there's one out there that has the old PS1 and PS2s, but I don't want to bore. People will be looking like, why are people still trying to do that? That's a whole nother story. But
and honestly, I got this idea from Lord, if anybody watches him still, if anybody watched Dash EXP back in the day, or
yeah,
yeah, I found out he has like what is it? It was when he used to do Old School Sundays, and before he was hanging out with Kai Cenat, he had like a switchboard with like 15 of these things. Mm-hmm. So he just plugged, like he had like the little video game cabinet, and then he just runs all the red, the yellow and white cables, and then just clicks whichever one he wants to go.
Yep, one big ass. I mean, it's not a bad idea to have one big ass RCA switchboard because it's kind of easy.
Yeah, that's how I figured out to even look for this thing when I was trying to get my stream set up. And now that man might retire. All the OGs are leaving. Him, Denzel.
Yeah, we're about to lose a generation, but Denzel at least is going to be in one Black Panther movie at least.
Yeah, David Allen Greer actually announced this TV series he's on right now is his last one.
Who?
David Allen Greer.
Oh, the hospital one.
Yeah, St. Dennis. He said that's going to be his last role.
I'll be honest. I've been rewatching because it was on Hulu for like a week for some reason. I was rewatching the Carmichaels. That was such an underrated show.
It really is. I actually like the Carmichael show. They weren't scared to go there on a few topics.
I feel like Maxine on that show is what they've tried to remake in so many other series, and it comes out like a just copy paste Twitter warrior, and it's awful.
Yeah, it is. But we gotta get along because we know we gotta get to an elephant in the room that's gonna pretty much we got to address some snubs from a certain video game award show that's gonna be happening in December. But I did want to shine some light on this one, guys. Have you guys actually seen the fan film Batman Beyond Year One?
I've been seeing clips of it and who's in it, so I checked it out the other day.
Joe?
I'm just now hearing about this. How is Will Friedle involved?
He's not.
I'm out.
So the guy, I think, who was it? The guy who played live action Beast Boy, and the guy from Arkham Shadows or Blackgate era Arkham Batman is doing old Bruce.
Yeah, he's doing old Bruce. But for all those that haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. It's 13 minutes. We're only going to show a little bit of it, but again, highly recommend you guys actually give it a fair shot. This is a fan film. This has nothing to do with DC Comics, Warner Brothers Discovery, because if it did, Zaslav would try to find a way to basically put it in the vault right along next to Batgirl. That being said, we're just going to play the first few minutes of it.
I mean, if it's good enough, Warner Brothers will claim it.
Hey, Missy, I think you have some things that belong to Bra.
Watch out! Shut up, Daddy!
Batter up! That's not very nice!
What a gentleman! Get lost. So you guys have some clown show to attend.
Come on, Spike, split it aside! What do you want to do, Spike?
Let's get out of here. You okay? You should probably head inside before they come back.
Thank you. Well, that was impressive.
Thanks. Got lucky, I guess. Our wrestling team's starting to pay off.
Oh? Is the wrestling team turning everyone into a hero or just you?
No, that's not what I meant.
I'm just teasing.
So, what are you doing out here? You're not going in?
Don't know. Don't know anyone here.
New in town?
Perpetually. My family, we move around a lot for work.
Must be nice. Get to see the world.
Right. See the world and lose all your friends. You can see why I don't know anyone here.
You know someone now?
I'm Melanie, by the way.
Terry. Terry McGinnis.
It's my parents. I gotta go.
Wait, can I see you again?
I'd like that. Later tonight?
I'll pick you up.
Better not. Why don't we meet at the bridge? Midnight?
I'll be there.
Cool it, kid. Remember, the suit doesn't make the man.
Maybe, but it sure does help. These upgrades, thanks to you, of course, just what I needed.
We'll see about that. A call was just made several blocks from your location. Possible robbery at a cargo warehouse. Sightings reported of men with white masks.
White masks? Think it's the Royal Flush Gang? I'll head over.
Be careful. I have a feeling there's something larger at play here.
Don't have time for careful. I've got to make this quick for got somewhere to be tonight.
I don't mean to be that guy, but we got to cut it. Just because it's almost 5 minutes into it, and I'm not sure how they would feel about it, although I don't think they're going to come after us. But again,
if we jump like, 3 minutes ahead, do we see any of the fights? Because I know they actually did a lot of work in the bat suit.
Yep, I can get to that. I gotta find it. But while I'm finding it, what did you guys think so far?
What easily could be if they would just get it together over there.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, found it. 1 second, found it.
I figured you'd be here. I appreciate you finding my package for me.
You know, I was hoping I'd run into you again.
It's a trap. Get out of there.
Not a chance.
Disengage, Terry.
I'm trying.
I'm telling you now, this won't end well.
It's just one guy. I can handle this.
It's never just one of the Flush Gang.
Huh. I'm a little disappointed. I expected more from what I heard of the Batman.
Terry, the suit! Activate Flash!
I mean, give it what you want. I mean, right. I mean, say for you want. I will say this. For the suit to be practical, the fight scenes are decent. I like it. And I agree with you, Tafari. That's give him a job. Give him a job and give him a budget. Joe, what'd you think?
Not too bad. Suit was really, really well done. Interesting choice in acting for Terry. But you're just never going to be spot on for casting live action animation unless you're in Japan. Mm-hmm. They have that way somehow. It's so weird. Yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, it's just one of those things to where I just saw them like, how is it that fan films, fan companies, and people who just want to make good movies do better than studios with multi-million-dollar budgets and can never get it right? And Tafari, I agree with you. Hire him and do Batman Beyond. Michael Keaton still wants to do it. That's all I'm saying. He still wants
to. At least don't recognize its greatness by doing takedown requests like you've done in the past. So
right. Again, but for all those that want to see it, it's called Batman Beyond Year One. It is available on YouTube. It is actually worth the 15 minutes to watch this movie, because for what they were able to do, it's just, to me, really, really good. So, 2 more trailers before we get to the elephant in the room, which is the Video Game Awards. We didn't cover Mission Impossible Final Reckoning trailer because this is the teaser trailer for it. Another video of Tom Cruise running in a direction from something, because apparently he just likes to run. And you know what I think about it? Tom Cruise runs in every movie he's ever been in. I don't think there's a movie he didn't run. Now I think about it. But anyway, here's the trailer for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Our lives are not defined by any one action. Our lives are the sum of our choices. Everything you are, everything you've done has come to this.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him.
Should he choose to accept? For every life you tried to save, you gambled millions more. And now the fate of every living soul on Earth is your responsibility. That's the pattern, isn't it? You refuse to sacrifice the ones you hold close. You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
All right, so that was the trailer for Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. As you see, comes out May 2025. I'm just going to be honest. Insurance companies gotta get nervous whenever Tom Cruise is doing a movie. They have to be. It's like, wait, you want to do what?
I just want to know, is there a pile of bikes at like the bottom of a ravine from his last movie?
You would think so.
He did that stunt jump like what 6 times? They said. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
like who's supplying the dirt bikes, and is anybody going to pick those up?
I feel bad. There's probably an EPA guy that's sitting at the bottom of that ravine and going, how many more times is he gonna get this? He's gonna get this right, because anybody that decides to, take a dirt bike to the edge of a cliff, go full throttle, and then decide to skydive, probably needs to be mentally checked. But again, it's Mission Impossible. I'm a fan. I know I'm gonna watch it. Joe, what about you?
It's putting me to sleep because it's a Tom Cruise movie that's not The Last Samurai.
Damn.
We're going to go there to look at Haley Atwell and watch Henry Cavill do his piston fist before fighting again. Just remember, we had to CGI his lip for this mustache.
That is true, but again, that comes out next year. So the last show that we got, guys, before we get to our VGA discussion, Tafari, Elio, which he brought up, which I think this is going to be another hit. This is going to be another sleeper hit that nobody's seeing. Did you want to give some back?
Put this in there thing. I was like, why is he posting Mars Needs Moms? We've been through this.
That's kind of what I thought this was. I'm like, didn't we do this film? But I just saw, okay, we're not, no rehash, no reuse. It's different. Pixar is doing something unique. So I'm just curious, what it is? Yeah, Mars Needs Mom and Home. I'm getting both of those vibes.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be interesting. But for all those that haven't seen it, here's a trailer for Elio. For Disney, I think this is a Pixar film, right, Tafara?
Yeah, Disney, Pixar, Elio.
Yep, here it is.
You need to meet people, make friends. Your life isn't up there, Elio. It's down here.
You okay?
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. There's a sign I'm supposed to be up there. This mole is the exact shape of the Orion Nebula.
I think you should have that looked at.
Yes! I knew it!
I am Questa, leader of Gunn.
Helix, leader of Aluminum.
And you're the leader of?
Earth?
Hear that, everyone? It's the leader of Earth.
Uh-oh. This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
This is the bathroom.
See us waving from such great heights, come down now.
I'm watching this. That was the teaser trailer for Elio. As you guys can see, comes out summer of next year. I'm sold. I will probably wind up taking the kids to go see this, but I want to go see it myself. I see you guys talking about it. It kind of does give Mars Needs Moms. I kind of got a little bit of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, just a little bit for kids. But I like it. What do you guys think?
I'll check it out. It seems different. It seems outside of Pixar's wheelhouse and something a little more outer spacey. If we get some kind of Star Command crossover, that'd be interesting. However, I'm very curious about the eye patch. Is Disney gonna are we gonna Obito Chiha a child like in the opening credits, or what's going on with that?
That's a good question. Joe, what do you think?
It looks like an interesting thing. I think there's another trailer out there that puts the mom more in focus, along with Elio, but still kind of nice. I would like to see some cameos from anybody from the Lilo and Stitch universe or stuff like that. Kind of connect them a little bit, other than the usual.
That would actually not be a bad idea because they had the whole Galactic Federation.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
So they can just get up there. It's like he's leader of Earth, and they're like, no, we were there.
It's just it's Pleakley walking by. Been there, overrated. Don't want to go back.
Love the wigs though.
It's kid friendly Don to Don suit, waiting for aliens, and it doesn't go completely wrong.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to. I can't knock that. But let us know what you guys think for the trailers that we've shown so far. What you like, what you didn't like, or what you may actually go see. As Zuri tries to figure out which shoulder she wants to get on right now. But yes, we do have a central topic ahead because this is going to be the topic that we are going to be covering in December because, again, there's a little show called the Video Game Awards that will be coming out in December. They've already, as earlier this week, had announced their nominations. Now, keep in mind, the Video Game Awards is supposed to be all gamer fans. It's not a committee. It's basically supposed to be us voting on these. So, with that being said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But not us. The us's that run game magazines and game podcasts.
Yeah, we vote on what they give us as options.
Yeah.
That us is what I meant to say. Thank you guys. But with that being said, we did want to cover the categories because there were some folks that had some grievances, and rightly so. Starting with Game of the Year, the nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. Starting with that, can we say that's a fair assessment, or did someone get snubbed?
I'd say Yakuza Infinite Wealth got snubbed because we'll just go ahead and hit the nail around and think, why is there a DLC in Game of the Year? A DLC which is not good DLC in the grand scheme of things, if you ask a lot of people. It didn't really expand. All that DLC did was punish you for being good at the base game.
Mm-hmm.
The dungeons weren't good. The bosses were overly difficult purely for the fact of the guy weren't the director's like, no, like these are just to kill you a lot because you want to spec in your favorite thing. We're not doing that. Like, this should have gone in best game continuation, which got one last year rightfully so by Phantom Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not gone in Game of the Year. Like, Infinite Wealth definitely should be in Game of the Year.
All right.
Yeah, game continuity, or they need a separate
DLC.
Right. Yeah, best DLC or best add-on or best extra content. Even keep that separate from like community support, because I think if Helldivers doesn't get that one, I'd be shocked because they made such a turnaround this year. Not really their own fault. Blame Sony on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's not even the fact that it's a DLC. It's a DLC that you have to get so far into the base game, and I think beat it to even get it or even stand a chance. So. Yeah. And the fact they put out a whole press release before, and it doesn't help that it's the DLC of the game that won last year. That's also the year before. It doesn't help that is also the issue.
True. I will sit there and say, yeah, there was a snub. I will agree with Joe. Yakuza Infinite Wealth really should have been up here, just because that was a hit from Jump Street. Not counting the pirate edition added onto that. I also would sit there and say Astrobot and Black Myth Wukong did deserve it. I'll also agree. I don't see how a DLC can be considered Game of the Year because, again, it's a continuation of the actual game itself. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I can see that, but they've done such a good job on it. It's a great game. Does it deserve to be Game of the Year? I don't think so. Metaphor.
It's that Hail Mary of an ending, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what it is? If you're gonna do that Hail Mary of an ending, Sora better make a goddamn appearance at this point. Like, let us see the kid for 5 seconds. Especially because I did like the way they led up to it. I'm kind of iffy on Rebirth. I don't think your platinum or your 100% run should have a serious effect on your placement. But God, is it life scarring if you go for it on Rebirth? The fact that it's like 2 trophies, one of them inside a bigger trophy, adds a single extra 100 hours to the game is just infuriating. And then 2 of the characters you unlock is the peak definition of unlocking the boss as a character, and he's absolutely nerfed. Like, I see why out of that initial trio, Zack is the one who died. It's a lot. And then the hard mode playthrough was less annoying than 2 of the challenge stages I had to grind to beat. If you just play through the story though, and not all the side missions like I did, it's a great game. The ending is confusing as hell. I've watched many theory videos. I still don't get it. Like, I think Cloud is stuck between 2 timelines at the moment, or what?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if you're gonna do that many times, like, let Sora coming through Unreality or whatever, let him pop up. Make that a DLC fight or some shit.
That would kind of give hope to Kingdom Hearts a little bit. No offense.
And then the fact that him and Zach popping up in the same between space at the end to basically do a combo attack, similar to like Sora and Riku. If you ever played Dream Drop Distance, and how they can both, like One Piece Film Raid, how they both can combo attack the final boss, but they can't see each other.
Yes,
it was an interesting take for a final boss fight. However, finding out that this is basically Final Fantasy 7 Plus. We're not actually replaying the game. This is technically a new story, and Sephiroth is just redoing history until he gets a win. Which they kind of told you if you went to go see what was it? The Advent Children movie. They basically said, hey, this movie takes place after the game and is an important factor into Rebirth and its story as well. So I like what they did. I'm not mad at it. Stellar Blade should be taking the place of Elden Ring, I feel like if you won Game of the Year, your DLC should not be allowed to get back in that category.
That part. All right, so if we had our choice, before we go on the best game direction, if it was our choice for Game of the Year, who would you pick?
I want Wukong to win. My upset choice, if it's not going to be them, is Astrobot.
Yep, I'm the same. Joe?
Metaphor.
Okay. I mean,
I feel like Metaphor dropped just in time to make it into this and not get pushed to next year. That game has Balantra. I've also heard good things about.
Balantra really good. The thing why I think Metaphor is because it has so much quality of life fixes from the standard. What is it called?
Gotcha game.
No, not gotcha game. Persona. From the standard Persona, Day of the Week stuff, they do a lot of quality of life improvements on that. And like not a lot. Characters are so much more developed. Story is outstanding. They just kind of improved on the Persona formula in so many ways with this Metaphor game that it's just hard not to see it as a clear Game of the Winner achievement.
Yeah, fair. I can understand that. Do we outside of the games, outside the Elden Shadow Ring, outside the Elden Shadow Ring DLC, is there a game of the year that should have been there? I know, Joe, you mentioned the Infinite Wealth, but did we have another game that also should have been considered game of the year that got snubbed?
Silent Hill 2.
You think so?
The remake?
The way they did the remake was kind of like Resident Evil 2 for PlayStation 1 versus Resident Evil 2 remake.
I can see that.
Okay, yeah, because that RE2 remake was taking over the internet for a solid time, and then everyone actually was done with it because they beat it, not because they just wanted clicks to play through it. I would say
they actually didn't want to freaking enjoy it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I will say Elden Ring could have been swapped out with either that last shot should have gone to Stellar Blade, or my pick was Helldivers.
I agree. Stellar Blade should have actually been considered Game of the Year as well, replacing Elden Ring. I will fully agree with that. Moving on to Best Game Direction. Nominees there: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring DLC, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. So, did they get it right, or do we miss it? Or outside of, for some odd reason, I don't know how a DLC got into Best Game Direction.
No, that's fine as it is.
Yeah. When they say direction, do they just mean story-wise or what?
No, that's best narrative.
That's best narrative.
No, direction is like overall game direction, like
Yeah.
playability, stuff like that. I'd give that to Balatro.
That one I'll give to Rebirth because the combat system and the way they, at least upon the initial release, the way they upgraded some of the issues I had with the first one, I was thankful for because
Uh-huh.
they gave you so many different ways to get out of certain jams, as well as giving enemies more weak points to exploit to increase the stagger bar.
Mhm.
And then the synergy abilities were a welcomed addition. So I'll give
Yes.
that one to Rebirth.
But you have such poor level design with some of the zones in Final Fantasy VII, though.
I appreciate. I'll give you that because the what was it, Gungaga? That was with the flying birds. That was awful. That was probably the one that the side quest that took the most time. I do appreciate the amount of fast traveling because that was it. Once you unlock the fast travel spot, I was not running that area more than once. But the initial run to some of it was annoying. They did do better, but I think Nibelheim had a decent design. I did kind of miss being in Sector 7. I like that you weren't stuck on one path. You could actually climb up and down stuff this time.
Yeah. I'd say for me, I agree. I would agree. I would say Black Myth Wukong to me would happen. Would probably be Black Myth Wukong first. Spanish 7, Rebirth would be second, Astrobot would be third, just because of direction. And again, I take mine, with a little bit of being impartial, because I was following Black Myth Wukong before it actually was announced as a game. It was actually just a concept by Game Science. So I know my selection is going to be a little bit biased. Elden Ring, for it to be direction, it's just the same. You're basically just playing a continuation of the story. Of course, the direction is going to be the same. You're not going to really see anything different. So I can't say it's the best game direction, because it's like giving it an award to something that already won a year back, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just me. But any snubs from best game direction?
No, not this time.
Yeah, I got nothing. I feel like this is one of those ones where it's like there's other stuff that could have been, but I feel like not everybody's gonna make it in.
Okay, fair enough. Moving along to best narrative. Nominees there: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Refantasio, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Start off. Who's your pick?
Who you got, Joe?
Best narrative?
Yeah.
Real big toss between Metaphor and Infinite Wealth. Senua Saga, very, very good. All of these are all good choices. The only problem I have with Final Fantasy VII is, like I said, that Hail Mary pass of a finale really hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
Silent Hill 2, even though I just praised it, it's a very good revamping and updating of Silent Hill 2, but it's gonna either be Infinite Wealth or Metaphor Fantasia. Those two storytelling is just really on next level. Man, they wrote so many good people here. You have to fight Danny Trejo and find out how Danny Trejo is involved in this missing person case that is your mother in Yakuza.
Yeah. Tafara, what about you?
I'll go Rebirth. I get it. The ending very much feels like they should have had a few more minutes of stuff, and even some of the things that I looked up, apparently they're not giving us answers to yet. Like the dude, who are we talking about? The Wu Tai leader that just never appeared on camera and made me think my game was broken. Which apparently that guy's name is just an acronym for Rufus. So he's just, and then the guy he shoots, who apparently is a Sephiroth clone. Apparently that's not getting answered. We are very much leaving confused. I did like, as far as our main cast though, Barrett and Dine, their whole thing, that was very emotional. That was actually, they put a lot of effort into that one. Going from the fun of the gold saucer to the tragedy of Barrett's past, dude getting spit on in his hometown. The fact that we're not bullshitting and Cloud actually kisses Tifa in this game if you play it correctly.
Yeah.
Or the fact that they actually tied in Yuffie meeting Zack in the Crisis Core remake that they just put out.
Mm-hmm.
So, although Cloud losing his stuff, his shit, and then being easily mind controlled for the 50th time did get old very fast. And to a point where I'm just like, why do y'all keep letting him hold things? The black materia, I know some people had issues with it, but the black materia being made by the Gi instead of, what was it? I believe initially a piece of Genova.
Yeah.
I did kind of like them tying Red 13's whole culture and their astrology thing into what's going to be the final plot. So I did like the story. Again, the ending, very much a weird Hail Mary. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another intergrade DLC that adds some to it, because we
found out they're not doing it.
Are they not?
Rebirth is not getting an intergrade DLC.
Okay, because they had the weird cultist brothers from Advent Children and Intergrade, and we still have no idea what's up with those guys.
The crazy part is, not to cut you off, but the crazy part is they said the reason why they're citing there's not going to be an intergrade for Rebirth is because they want to work on Part 3. They want Part 3 to come out as soon as possible.
I'm so curious as to how that works, because I know we're still only at the end of CD1, and I know a bulk of the game is on Disc 2, and then I've heard Disc 3 is just final boss and cleanup if you want to do it. So
pretty much.
I'm curious to how they integrate all that. If we get the larger ship, because I know they showed it in the game. If we get that to travel, that'll be cool.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what Gilgamesh was about, but that was a welcomed addition. And I also think he is played by the English actor for Kinemon in One Piece.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gilgamesh was about, but that was actually an interesting challenge to complete.
Gilgamesh is a long-running gag from Final Fantasy V, where at the end of his fight with Bartz, he got sucked into space-time, and he's been appearing and traveling through all the different Final Fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so that's actually like a canon character then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does Final Fantasy V take place in like a...
No. He just gets sucked into a space-time wormhole and has to exist in all Final Fantasies. He's basically Scott Bakula.
He's basically the quantum leap of Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Because if you notice in 7 when he's summoned, you literally see the sword travel from Odin through a dimensional tear and in his hands. So basically, he's like, "Oh, this is how I get into 7 and 8 and 9 and so far and so forth."
8. Cypher. If you summon Odin in a fight, Cypher kills the Odin GF, and the sword flips into the air, and Gilgamesh just appears and catches the sword.
Yeah.
And your Odin materia becomes Gilgamesh.
Yep.
Is it stuck like that for the rest of the game?
Pretty much.
Yes.
You pretty much switch your GFs.
That's hilarious.
Gilgamesh in 10 is like he's like a hidden summon or something, where if you do something with Yojimbo,
and he comes out.
Then he comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so does he lose his memory with that rule? Because he seemed like he didn't know what was going on in Rebirth.
No, he just doesn't know where he is anymore. He's like, oh
Pretty
God,
much.
where am I now?
So is he already like lost in the fifth one, or is that his home?
That's his home dimension. He just loses to Bart's there.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I do like Gilgamesh. He's actually a very low level summon, but actually it's very useful because he's part of the reason I was able to get through the damn challenges at the end and get the damn platinum. I'll have to just please, when you make the third one, play test it before you put out hard mode, because that was in Queen's Blood. It was fun, and then it wasn't. Please keep it.
Well, I will say for best narrative for me, it's a toss up. Because I did like Rebirth. I loved Infinite Wealth just because the Like a Dragon series, you can't go wrong with the narrative there. Metaphor ReFantasio has a great one. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and then Silent Hill 2 remake. If I had to select one, I gotta go with Like a Dragon. I have to go with that. Its way of telling a story just sucks you in. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rebirth does it. Hellblade 2 does it. Once you get used to the voices. Silent Hill 2 is a dead giveaway. Their narrative is always great, but Like a Dragon just seems to stand out to me this year. But that's my pick. But Joe, what did you say yours was?
For narrative?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a toss-up between Like a Dragon and Metaphor.
Gotcha. But also, no, was there snubs out of narrative, or did they get this right?
Nah.
Yeah, those are the big story-heavy games we have.
All right, sweet. Moving right along. Best art direction. Nominees are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden DLC, Metaphor ReFantasio, and Neva. Art
Black
direction. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Wukong, if I feel like Astrobot could get it, but it's just it's parody-ish type art style. So I feel like Wukong deserve it because they put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Wukong. Wukong just, if you think about art direction, Wukong stands out. Astrobot does too, but Wukong has something to prove. That's the way I look at it. Wukong really has something to prove with their art style. So I'm going with that. I don't think we had any snubs for this one, did we?
Nah.
Cool. All right. Best score in music: Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantasio, Silent Hill 2, or Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade.
That best score in music.
Maybe Astrobot.
See, I have to remove myself from nostalgia, because if I see Final Fantasy VII, to me has one of the best scores of any video game. But I'm leaning on nostalgia and not the actual game, and I can't do that. I'm gonna say for me it's Astrobot. Tafari?
I'll go Rebirth just because the score, regardless how you felt about some scenes, the score was what pulled me in, especially with some of the original songs they put in there, like Aerith's whole performance at the Gold Saucer.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Never got that.
You did what?
I never got the Aerith performance at Golden Saucer.
You didn't?
Oh, you didn't?
Was that her date?
No, so it's automatic. So what I learned, because first off, I wish I would have pointed this out. Once you beat it, there's a setting. You can just switch who you want to be the date. So when you go to the Gold Saucer, you're going to do the performance with Aerith and Barrett and Kate Sith and Red. But whoever plays the princess, that's who you're going on the date with. So it'll be, they'll show up at your room, then you go on the date, you go on the play, and they get pulled into it. I also, because I skipped it, I didn't realize that was Jesse in the play who died in the previous game, in the intro movie. So you perform the thing, Aerith gets to perform her song, and after the play's over, whoever you picked or have the best relationship with, then you go on the date, and then you get either like a soft version of the date or you get a serious version, and that's kind of that's what was interesting about it. The score, very much of how they do the dates, Aerith writing an original piece, and then the fact that they play it again in the ending. I very much like Sephiroth. One Winged Angel is cool, but I like what they kind of do with it in the final fight. Though some of the parts of it was kind of annoying. But yeah, Square Enix has always been good at pulling me into moments, even if it's ones I don't particularly get.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe, I'm sorry, Joe. What was your pick for best score music?
Probably either best score in music. It's probably up to, if it's scored, then it's a tie between Silent Hill and Stellar Blade.
Okay.
Because I mean, you gotta have a good score to make that game to make a creepy game creepy.
It's true. Any snubs?
Nah.
All
right, cool. Best audio design. Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Hellblade 2, or Silent Hill 2?
Hellblade 2, because it's audio design, and that is what that game is all built around.
I'll agree, because it's pretty much an audio game, so I'll agree with that too.
I didn't play too much of any of the other ones. Black Ops is just another Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Silent Hill I heard was great, but it kind of carries the same tone. Does Astrobot still has the whole interactive controller thing with the going with like the wind power and whatnot still? But yeah, if y'all say Hellblade, I'll go with that, because one of my main complaints playing Final Fantasy, especially playing it many updates later, was I don't know if it's just my TV or what, but lately the last couple of games I have played, it's like they didn't balance the music with the voice, and there's no settings for it. So I had to turn on captions after like the first 2 chapters, because I'm like, I can't hear what anyone's saying. So I think Final Fantasy slipped by, but I can't pick it on this one. I'll go Hellblade.
Okay. Yeah, see, Hellblade 2, it's just because you're literally hearing multiple voices with this character, the audio had to be on point. So yeah, that should win best audio design hands down, but we'll see. Any snubs for audio design?
Nah.
Because I don't see anything beating Hellblade 2 on that one.
Nah.
No, good.
Best adaptation. Right. This is where me and Tafari fight.
Uh-oh.
Best adaptation.
For best adaptation, you have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. You say y'all about to fight, so I'm just gonna sit back and see how this is gonna go.
I like Knuckles, but I don't see it winning this category just because it was cool, but there's so many people who complained about they wanted this like super animated, like people gotta remember these shows and movies are for kids. Like, there's so many people who want just a full CG Sonic show, and I'm just like, y'all aren't getting 8 hours of Mobius lore just yet. We still haven't even, like, named the planet that they're from or anything, so chill. But it's probably $250 million is probably going Arcane. Again.
I mean, I'm gonna say Fallout for the same reason I'm not saying Arcane, is because that second season of Arcane is nowhere as good as the first season.
Really? One of our friends is at I've heard about that. Yeah, Demetrius is at an event for Arcane right now. Apparently they're doing like a showing for the finale.
Yeah.
So, like, here's how I'm hearing it. The writing is good and everything is good, but it's not as good as season 1. It's like we're season 1's an A+. Season 2 is kind of an A-B+. Is how I'm hearing about this. I would say Fallout, but like I can't stand the B story with the Brotherhood dude because he's just not entertaining. His story's just not good to me. I love the Vault Dweller and the Ghoul dude, but the Brotherhood of Steel dude, could not get behind him at all. He is just like being mean for the sake of being mean sometimes. I
feel like Arcane will take it. I want Fallout to win just for the use of live action and practical effects.
That's why I want Fallout to win.
Also for the fact that Arcane, you won already. Back off. And y'all won over Sonic last time, 2 years ago. So let Fallout take this one. Knuckles, I love you, but it could not compete. Like even the whole reference, the past reference. I'm like, are we gonna see that this film? Like, are we referencing the Black Arms or?
Well, see, if we're going best adaptation, I didn't see the second season of Arcane. Like Joe said, the first season for Arcane on Netflix was fire. Fallout was freaking great. Knuckles, I loved the run they had with that. Like a Dragon, I still have to watch that. I haven't had a chance to. And Tomb
Again,
Raider.
they are the characters from the game doing things.
Yeah,
Sometimes from the game, sometimes not.
Yeah, see, I haven't watched Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft. I kind of don't have a.
Apparently, that's a really good series, animated series.
I checked out a couple episodes. I need to go back and give it a fair shot. It didn't pull me in initially, but I feel like if you're a Tomb Raider fan, you might have a different opinion than I may.
Which Laura is this? Is this classic Laura or Survivor Laura?
Don't know.
Very much seems like Survivor Laura because it starts off with her like, trying to figure out her way out of a problem and like I'm not built for this, and then we cut to her like in a street fight with a crowd, and it's like, oh, so she went through her tough girl phase in like 2 years, and then the show just kind of goes from there.
All right.
All right, I'll take that. But if it was gonna be my pick for adaptation, I'm picking Fallout.
Well, can we skip best performance? I don't know who any of these people are, and
why not tell me who the character they play is? Like, hold on.
Well, I do know Brianna White. I believe that's Tifa in Rebirth. Melina Juergens, that's Senua in Hellblade.
I mean, that's it. But that's the only two we know.
And I have no idea. That's the only two. Yeah, that's the only two I know. Humberly Gonzalez. I don't know
I'm
that
guessing
one.
she's the main character in that one.
Brianna White plays Aerith. Okay.
Yeah, Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2. I'm assuming he's the main. He plays that guy, I guess. But I guess we can skip it because again, I don't really have a lot of information on that one. So yeah, we can go on and skip on that one.
Okay, I'm really confused. This is my biggest issue.
Okay.
For upcoming stuff is stuff like this. We have best independent game. Then we have best debut indie game.
Makes no sense, doesn't it?
Doesn't make any sense. Like, I know Balatro is going to win both of them because it's Balatro. And Balatro is like the best indie game out right now. It's like the new Dave the Diver and Dredge.
Yeah.
But like, this is redundant.
It is. I will agree with that. Because why have a best debut like it's a rookie season, but you have your best overall independent? Yeah, I'll agree. It makes no sense at all. I will fully agree with that. But
yeah, the best performance I'll give to Brianna for Aerith, independent and indie Balatro.
I'll go with that just because I know Balatro. I'm not really familiar with Animal Well or Lorelei and Laser Eyes. The Plucky Squire, I did want to play that one on Steam because it looked like it would be fun. It looked like it was fun to play. I haven't played it yet.
Fine. The stealth parts of that are cheap. Oh my god, it's cheap.
Okay, fair enough.
Mary Jane and Spider-Man 2 cheap?
Mary Jane and Spider-Man 2 was super easy, and you guys just like wanted to rush in.
Well, we can skip the indie game.
What is games for impact?
Wait, so what is the difference between cheap and rushing in? Cheap is like too easy or what?
Rushing is because you guys know that Mary Jane has the weapons and the tools to take these dudes down, so you think it's okay and go in. Cheap is when I move slightly out of the shadow and my foot's still in the light and the cockroach immediately gets me.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's unfortunate.
So aggressive stealth is what you're saying.
Okay, seriously though, what is games for impact?
I'm assuming
shock value.
I want to say that's for games from independents or for games that have a meaning, I guess. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But
yeah, I'll go Life is Strange because the last couple ones have been people have played it because of the name, but I don't hear many people talk about them after they're done. Apparently this new one, I'm seeing a lot of shock value with it, especially because we're picking up as a direct successor to the first one.
Sure.
I'll take your word for it. But we can move on to the next one. Best role-playing game: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring DLC, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or Metaphor ReFantasio for best RPG.
Okay, see, this is the other thing that confuses me. Two of these are technically not RPGs.
Yeah, I feel like Metaphor should probably get that.
Metaphor is probably borderline, but I wouldn't consider it an RPG.
Elden Ring and Dragon's Dogma are not RPGs. Like, not the traditional sense of Final Fantasy, Yakuza, and Metaphor. They're action RPGs.
Yeah.
Or in Elden Ring's case, they're just literally Dark Soul games.
True.
Which I
But
would guess would be survival action.
but if you had to pick, or actually if you had to pick, or do you think someone got snubbed?
No, I don't think anybody got snubbed. It's probably going to go to Metaphor.
Do we think Power World could have fit in here at all?
No, that's a simulator game.
Simulator, but
Which is another thing that confused me because that's also like technically a shooting game.
Okay, because
that
I'm
would
trying to figure.
that would go under action adventure though.
Everyone's saying they got snubbed, and I'm just trying to figure out what
Just wait till
category.
we get to action. I got like a whole spiel when we get to that.
Yeah, so everybody's saying I agree they got snubbed, but I'm also trying to figure out like where do you go if you did make it in?
That's a fair point. So before we get to best action adventure game, what's your picks for RPG? Best RPG?
Metaphor.
Dang, I'm going Like a Dragon. All right,
I love Like a Dragon, but Metaphor just does everything better.
No, fair enough. But Joe, you said you had some beef with action adventure games, sir.
I
So
have beef with action. Action adventure is fine because these
Oh,
are
my
all
bad.
like platformers and shooters and platformers and jumpers. Action makes no sense to me.
Nintendo,
Okay.
I don't think Nintendo got a lot of slots here with it. Especially, I think the only one that I see them with a lot is Zelda. But even then, I don't see this.
Yeah,
Is
you're not
definitely
gonna-
going, this if this doesn't go to Astrobot, I will be shocked.
action adventure game
Yeah, this
between
needs to get
Astrobot,
Astrobot.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Because Star Wars Outlaws didn't really launch the way that the people would want to. Echoes of Wisdom is still kind of early and still out there. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown did not get a lot of praise for their last game. And Silent Hill 2 being a remake, you really didn't expect a lot except great action. So yeah, I'm going with Astrobot. But what were you guys' picks?
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
I feel like the Prince of Persia and Outlaws could have been great. It feels like being attached to Ubisoft and
Yeah. Being attached to
Actually,
Ubisoft.
the biggest update almost fundamentally changed how Outlaws plays for the
Really?
better. For the better.
Yeah.
Lost Crown, is that the one where we get the power of the gods, or is that the one before it?
That's the one. The Power of the God. This one, they actually took it back to it almost like the original remake where they had those abilities in Sands of Time, but that was pretty much it.
Which is the one where you're the god?
Oh, that was the Two Thrones.
No. Yes, that was the good one.
Yeah.
The action side scroller where you're like one of the gods.
Yeah.
I think it's the sequel side scroller to that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just not it. Everything's good about it. From what I'm hearing, it's just
it just didn't get a lot. Didn't get a lot of attention.
And people
Okay,
see the
here's my
affiliation
big
and just
complaint.
check out at this point.
Here's my big complaint. Best action.
Mm-hmm.
What is even the point of this list? Like, we don't even call these games action games anymore. It's hack slash. It's shooting. Like, look at this list: Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops, Helldivers, Space Marine, Stellar Blade.
See, that's
These aren't
gonna be
even
tough.
like the same style of game half the time.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
this list
Oh, go ahead,
feels
go ahead,
very that list feels slapped together because starting with Wukong makes sense, and then you go shooter, Stellar Blade.
Well,
See,
it's
that's
not even that. It's one's first-person shooter, one's a third-person party shooter, one is a third-person shooter, and one's a flat-out action hack slash. So we got 2 hack slashes, 1 FPS, and 2 third-person shooters. Like, they just need to do best shooting game, or best shooter, and best hack slash.
Well, that's what it should have been. That's why I'm agreeing with you. That's what it should have been. But that's a good question because
We don't even call these things adventure game or action games anymore. We call them like Souls-like, a hack slash, puzzle,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
survival horror.
But here's what I'm getting at, though. So, you could take best action adventure game, you could take best action game, and literally you can just chop it up to just 2. because a lot of these games are the best action game can go under action adventure game. Some of these can go under shooting, and that would be the end of it. Hey, Bama, what's going on, man?
Hey, Bama.
But yeah, it's just the
like-
whole idea of it. I'm sorry, go, Joe.
So, like, for me, it would be best RPG, best platformer, best hack slash, best shooter. Those would be what we in the gaming community call games now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also easier for mainstream people to understand. It's like, it's a platformer. Oh, like Mario. Hack slash. Oh, like Dark Souls. Best shooter. Oh, like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be putting stuff like that, especially with that list.
No, I fully agree with you. But if we had to pick, if you had to pick this list,
Wukong clears the competition.
See, this is where I'm gonna be stuck because I'm stuck between Wukong and Space Marine 2.
But neither one of them are gonna get it because Black Ops is in this thing.
That is
Black
also
Ops. It's Black Ops is the VGA of shooters. It deserves. If you want to give it a win, fine. It is a refreshing Call of Duty in the franchise. Give it that.
I will say this about Black Ops 6. I love the campaign story. The campaign story. I don't know who over there is actually paying attention. I love the fact of how you're setting up the story with this, especially for Modern Warfare, the remake in 2 and 3 and Black Ops 6. You know, I can care less about the multiplayer. I love how the campaigns are, but
you could have put that in.
The characters are actually people.
Say what?
Is it because this year the characters are actually people with goals and personalities?
That too. Yes, that it has that the story has depth. Yes, I will completely agree with that.
And they could have gave them a story, narrative, or a direction, but they put them in just best action. And honestly, if they take it over Wukong, that will completely blow my mind.
Yeah, but Space Marine 2 though, I was like, for all those that's never played never played Space Marine 2, if you ever get a chance, you really should. Number one, the gameplay is great. Number two, the lore is a lot. And I've been following it since the first Space Marine. But again, still fun to play, but it's a tie for me for best action game. Between Wukong and Warhammer, it's a tie. But what were you guys saying?
It's Wukong for me on this.
Joe?
The only reason it's going to be Black Ops because that's the only reason it's in this section.
Yep, you're right, Mama. It is. I mean, you would think for Call of Duty, you would think they could figure out how to get their updates under terabytes because Jesus.
Especially because Battlefield started that hub world first, and it was when it first came out, that thing was seamless. It's bouncing between Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, and what was the other one that get Hardline? It was so easy as long as you had each game installed, and then you didn't have to log out and switch. With them, it's half your console.
I just can't figure out why Call of Duty cannot figure out their space problem. But again, I digress. Best strategy game: Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Katsunigami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, or Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord.
I got nothing because I don't know any of these.
Go ahead, Joe.
That Path of the Goddess is that Capcom game that looked like it was an Onimusha game, but really wasn't.
We're running it off.
No, this is going to Unicorn Overlord.
Okay.
I would say Unicorn Overlord too. I did like Path of the Goddess, but Unicorn Overlord just had it done. Any snubs for best strategy game?
Nah, I'm actually kind of glad they didn't put Final Fantasy in here because it didn't need it. Sports racing, I feel like I heard the most about. Okay, this is where people say they got snubbed. Sports, it's one. Why does racing need to be separate? Sports, how do you not have the return of NCAA in here?
Yep.
I feel like the one I've heard the most about was 2K24 WWE, but none of it was good. So
actually,
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
The WrestleMania mode was good in 2024 this year. Surprisingly, and I don't know why this happened this year, but the sports game I ended up playing the most was World Cricket 2024. I actually understand what cricket is now.
I feel like you got to understand what a crumpet is to play cricket. I'm sorry.
I
The line was there.
understand.
I'm sorry. I apologize, Joe. The line was there. You have to know what a crumpet is to play cricket.
I
I'm sorry.
I also know what a crumpet is.
I'm sorry. It was there. All right. So what are we saying for best sports racing game? Because the thing about it is, I'm really surprised that Madden 24 is not in there. Madden 25 is not on this list, which I'm really surprised about.
You can see the screen on a lower resolution.
Can't see screen. Madden up there, can't see screen. Huh.
Yeah. It's what is it? F124, EA Sports,
NBA 2K, Top Spin, and WWE 2K24.
I say pass. I don't hold any candle. I don't hold anything to this race.
Neither do I. I'll give it to WWE just because I know more people who played that out of anything.
I would say honestly, from a racing aspect, it was F124 for me because I've played F1 just because I got bored one day off Game Pass. But it was good. 2K24 actually was better since WWE had switched companies after that terrible 2020 2K23. Top Spin, let's just be honest, don't really hear a lot from some tennis games and NBA 2K. As long as they are brothers, there will be an NBA 2K playing somewhere. I'm fairly certain of that. But definitely don't see any snubs there. Best multiplayer game: Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer Space Marine 2. Before we get to, I was gonna say, go ahead, Joe. You said Helldivers, Tafara. What'd you say?
Helldivers.
Hey, Helldivers. It does not get many nominations, but it deserves this one.
It's unanimous. I'll say Helldivers 2 because how Helldivers 2 came out of nowhere, and honestly, that was the game that benefited from crowd advertising, if anything. Just because not everybody knew about Helldivers, but at the same time, you had individuals that were just showing clips of it. And then you have the Starship Troopers, which I still think is a gregarious missing advertisement that should have happened. Casper Van Dien could have sat there along with others who were in the series. I think a few of them are still alive.
No, we couldn't because they had to advertise the Starship Troopers game.
Yeah. I think that's what held them off because they were making their own. And even then, they were just like, hey, we get it. Same every year was slightly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised so many of the 2K24s made it up there because it's like, it's just reskinning with new players to the game. Like,
pretty much.
I'm sure they're trying to find out a way to charge you $5 for Bronny James right now.
Oh, yeah. They're going to find a way.
But people have been waiting on NCAA since I started college. It's like 10 years ago.
Oh, NCAA college football is going to definitely clean up. But going back to best multiplayer, it's unanimous. Helldivers 2 definitely did it. Any snubs for multiplayer?
I wouldn't say so. I think these are the good ones. I feel like Call of Duty, if this is one of the areas it fits. But Helldivers had the whole community and everyone going to democracy, and then people tried to play, what was it, Battlefront, and then that sucked, and they went right back to waiting in line for Helldivers.
Yep, I agree. Joe, anything else before we move on to best fighting game?
Yeah, let's move on to there so we can start nitpicking this thing.
God. All right, best fighting game: Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. How do we feel?
I feel like Tekken deserves it. It may end up going to Sparking Zero.
It won't. Yep. It'll go to Marvel vs. Capcom.
Think so?
Well, we know it's not going to Multiverses. They won like 2 years ago for their beta because they were the hot new Smash, and just like every other hot new Smash, it got smashed. Sparking Zero, I feel like once you have nothing to do but go online and face nothing but the sheer amount of toxic negativity that is that thing. They should have done what Tekken 8 did in Street Fighter and not have voice chat.
Yeah.
Because that's all you hear is you're cheap or the N word or like everything under the sun as usual.
Yeah.
You can't mute them off rip.
Huh?
Can you not just mute them off rip?
You can mute them, but like you got to go in and do it manually, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's Marvel's Capcom collection because I mean it's Marvel.
Yeah, I agree with Joe on this one just because Sparking Zero did have a following, still does have a following. So does Rising, but it's a little bit of a smaller community. Let's be honest, it's the Marvel versus Capcom is the OG. The fact that you got folks that have wanted to play it and you can play it online with others, and it has rollback netcode to where it should be playing more seamlessly. It's hard to beat that. And I'm a fan of Tekken 8. I would love to say Tekken 8 would get an honorable mention, but I'm agreeing with Joe. I think Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is going to take this one.
I can see it.
But any snubs for best fighting game? Which is weird that Street Fighter 6 is not on here.
Let's see. Well, didn't that come out last year?
6?
No, it's been out for a while.
6 was 2 years ago, wasn't it? 6 was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, because we're on season 2 right now.
You could
say,
so 2 years ago. You could maybe say MK1, but
no, MK1 does not need to be on this list.
I was saying you'll have some diehard.
I would argue. No, I could argue MK1 should be on this. Not for best fighting game. I'd say MK1 could be an honorable mention.
And then Street Fighter. When was their last entry?
Street Fighter 6. I want to say 6. Was it 4 or 5 months ago since that Poison character got introduced, Joe?
No, Terry came out like last month.
Oh, right, Terry. Sorry, yeah, Terry came out 2 months ago. So that was last. Sorry. So yeah, it's been 2 months.
We should have Mai.
Yeah. So
I'm fairly certain we'll be getting the Mai trailer at the Game Awards.
Probably so. But yeah, it's the fact that Street Fighter 6 is not on here. I won't say it's a snub, but I kind of feel like it's someone just sat there and did a Rosemary's Choice on this. When you say, Bam, I have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection for Steam last month. Again, it's hard.
Street Fighter 6 is 6 is a 2023 game. So mid-October 2023. See, I think it would have been considered last year, but not this time. Who else released fighting games? I'm trying to think. Street Fighter.
Mortal
Kombat. Tekken had one
next year.
Didn't Tekken have one this year?
Tekken had one this year.
Had one this year.
KOF came out last year.
Yeah. I don't think that was a
reboot came out last year.
That's Tekken 8. Tekken just came and went, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's still getting stuff. We'll probably get their final Season 1 DLC character announcement at Game Awards as well.
Probably so.
Okay. Yeah. So Tekken, never mind. Tekken's up there. But I'm trying to think of the big. So yeah, Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I could see people saying Tekken 8. If it goes to Marvel vs. Capcom, I won't be mad at it. I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the OG. But moving on, best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Again, I'm stuck. I'm stuck between Helldivers 2 and Destiny 2. Destiny's 2, the final shape was great. I love that entire story, how that went. Helldivers 2, love that game too. But I'm stuck between those two. But what do you guys got?
I think I'll give this one ongoing. I'll give to Destiny because they actually have story and cutscenes and things and the whole Lance Reddick situation, and they've very much been in touch with everyone with going forward. That's the only thing. Helldivers, you kind of just get the reports and like the stuff you kind of assume. But that was kind of the issue with the first Titanfall game was. Everything was getting told to you via text and hearing over the radio chatter.
Yeah. Joe?
For best ongoing game, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 14.
Okay. Any snubs?
Nah.
Good.
All right. This is going to be the one that's going to probably be a toss up. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, or No Man's Sky. Definitely RIP Lance.
Baldur's Gate.
I'll go Helldivers just because Sony, along with choices they made in the game, they almost nuked their entire fan base, and they have slowly been getting them back. The fact they've been dropping videos like on their official channel to let people know what they're fixing, and have actually been like listening to the people and being addressed, I will give them that, because they almost ruined themselves and did everything they could to earn back the love from the fans.
So I take best community to mean like mods and the modding community, which is why I say Baldur's Gate.
I would say mods and just response to the community. I would put it that way. And if we're doing that, then if it's just responding to the community and just trying to make the game better, to me, it would be a tie between Baldur's Gate 3 and Helldivers 2. It's kind of a tie because both companies that developed those games did listen to the users, and they did try to do, for better or for worse, try to improve it. So I'd say it's a tie for me.
Okay.
Best mobile games: Endless Zone Zero, because it's the new it's the new Genshin.
All right, I got no dog in the fight because I've played none of these, but Streets are saying it's going to be better.
Actually, they have something now because they also have Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
I've heard that's fun, but I'm hearing people want that. They want Balantra over Pokemon.
I got no dog in this fight, so I'm just gonna sit there and say just because I recognize Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, that makes me think that's gonna probably be picked. But yeah, I got no dog in this fight on this category. Any snubs, Joe?
My packs for the bed.
Yeah,
no, not that I'm aware of.
I'm sorry, Tafar, what are you saying?
To answer Bama, yeah, you get like codes when you get packs now, and you can like put them into the game and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure I don't got a dog in this one either. Best VR AR game, just because I don't play them: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. Yeah. Hey, if you guys play VR, go for it, because I certainly don't.
I've heard Arkham Shadow. I've watched and heard Arkham Shadow is actually really good. It's just stuck on that damn MetaQuest.
Yeah, it's just the fact to give us another Batman Arkham Shadow game and you made it VR friendly. Joe, any picks?
No, I don't play VR.
Cool. As I'm pretty sure that's one subject we can all wave at as it passes us by. What do you say, Joe?
I'm reading the next category: best family game.
Yep.
I guess that means family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly.
I'll go Astrobot.
I'd say the same thing. Because, Princess Peach Showtime is also that, but it's more of a one-player. Super Mario Party Jamboree is that all-together one. Legend of Zelda, same thing. Fun but one person's playing. So is the Plucky Squire. So my pick for that is Astrobot. But I think we're all good with that. The anticipated game: Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotai, GTA 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Monster Hunter Wilds. Ooh,
this would make for a great argument if GTA 6 wasn't on the list.
Yeah, I feel like we've waited long enough that you could have put GTA in this category at any other point, but now that they have a trailer you want to put it, I feel like you should go to Monster Hunter Wilds because Ghost of Yotai just got announced. And the Monster Hunter fandom has been talking about Wild so long. I thought it was out already.
Yeah,
I would probably have the beta.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was gonna sit there and say for me, Ghost of Yotai would probably be it.
Innovation and accessibility. I have no idea. Bus.
Esports game. I got nothing. I'm an
We'll
OG.
say League of Legends. Pass.
I'm an OG Counter-Strike fan, so maybe them. I don't know any of the esports teams.
I would say for me on that one, I'm sorry, guys. So innovation and accessibility, that's interesting. Esports games. Ooh, wow. Oh,
Pass.
see, here's the thing about esports games. It's gonna come down to League of Legends and Counter-Strike.
Valorant.
I can see that too. Mario Party is up there, Bama, with Monopoly and Uno. With Valorant, I get it, but esports games right now, League of Legends and Counter-Strike 2 are the ones running it. Don't get me wrong, Dota 2 works at 2, Mobile Legends, bang bang, but it'll be a tie between League of Legends and Counter-Strike 2 for me. But what you guys were saying?
I mean, yeah, I know Counter-Strike has like a very dedicated fan base, so I wouldn't be surprised if they show up in mass. If there is an upset, I expect it to be possibly Valorant.
Yeah. Joe, you said your pick was Valorant too?
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm just from what I've seen, it's just those two. Anybody got any dogs in the fight for esports teams or esports players?
No.
The next three categories.
I don't follow esports.
Yeah, or content creator of the year, which is again. This is why I feel like I have to ask my oldest son who these people
I do.
are.
I actually have one.
Well, go for it.
We'll go with Asada Picora.
All right, I got nothing. Sabara?
I don't know these people.
I know the name. I know she's like a rabbit-themed girl from the Hololive people VTubers. That's as much as I know.
I've heard of Queso. I could not pick him out of a lineup.
I'm
Wait,
going to go
who?
with y'all.
The first
Queso?
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally,
so Queso, actually, we've all met in Yakuza. She's the girl who runs the bar in Yakuza 7 or Yakuza 8.
I did not make that connection.
She is also a former VTuber for Hololive.
Wait, no, that's Case OH. I've just looked him up. I've actually seen this guy like.
No. K-Son. KSON.
Oh, okay.
I think that's an OH though. I think that's Case O for content creator of the year.
Yeah.
Let me expand my screen. Yeah, it's Case O.
Oh, I have no idea then. Couldn't help you.
I've seen him here and there, like just on TikTok. He's entertaining. So if I had to pick, I guess I'll give him that.
I'll take your word on that one because that one I got no clue about. But that actually wraps up the categories for VGA for the Video Game Awards. Again, comes out in December. But let's be honest, we really watch it for the trailers because we know there's going to be some trailers showing with these awards. So again, in the comments, let us know what you think.
Here's another question that got posed to me that we'll ask on here, and I'll ask you both this.
Go for it.
If there weren't any preview game announcements, would we even be bothering with this?
No.
Probably not.
Be honest.
The way they do it now, if they had some decent celebrity guests or who's hosting, no. But this, because I remember the Game Awards didn't used to be this big a deal in the beginning. It was very much somewhat like E3, where I had to TiVo it and come back to it later.
Yep. And I'll be honest, if they didn't look, I'll put it this way, just because of the fact that, and I'm not, no disrespect to Mr. Knightley, because thank you. I keep on getting his name completely torn up. I apologize. I love the fact of what he tries to do. He tries to do it with Summer of Games. He tries to do the Video Game Awards. I like the fact he does try to bring more awareness. He does try to bring attention to it, to the world of video games. I'll give him all the credit in the world. But let's also be honest. You only watch these events to see what trailers are going to be released. That's it. because without E3, without an E3, with a lot of these companies doing their own showcases or direct channel releases, all you're wanting to know is what's the next big thing coming out or when's the next continuation coming out. So yes, does that factor into me watching the Video Game Awards? Yes. If they didn't do trailers, would I still watch it? What for? Because it covers my interest at that point.
Not even the celebrity status of it. Like, we see how he like treats the developers sometimes with him, like that one dude like in tears trying to tell people how many people they lost while trying to make this game, and they're trying to play him off stage so we can get a celebrity out there.
Yeah.
Or God in heaven. Now I'm gonna come after him hard. He genuinely loves the gaming industry. He does. Jeff Keighley is a net positive for the industry, but I do not give a shit how much you are best friends with Hideo Kojima. I really don't.
Every freaking year. Every freaking year he points that out. Yeah, I can see that too, Bam. The G4 Game Awards show was funny. And
they put themselves out of business the second time.
They really did.
You just quit, leave shit alone. You just didn't have to.
You didn't have to tweak anything. You didn't have to MTV it. Just say it.
We didn't need a whole press release or a whole video of you and the cast. Just ignore the shit and move on.
Pretty much. But no. If it wasn't for if it wasn't for the fact that we're getting news about games that are coming out or updates, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be watching it. But
and again, I do want to stress this. He is a net positive for the gaming community. He really does love doing this for us. He's the reason why we technically don't have E3, which is also kind of a net positive these days, doing his own summer of game thing. But he generally does love this community and loves working with it. It's just he's also one of those people that likes to prove he's got clout in whatever part of Hollywood he's in. And it just annoys the crap out of me.
No, that's a fair assessment. It's fair. You gotta. I mean, here's the thing: when you have the ability to influence the industry the way he kind of can, because let's be honest, he does. I'm not saying he's gatekeeping, but at the same time, between summer and winter, outside of just random pop-ups or a Spider-Man symbol showing up on the side of a brownstone somewhere, how else will you know if something's coming out? He is kind of the pipeline.
And then
like
there's
you said,
the other side where he tries to play Chris Judge off the stage, and Chris Judge is like, no.
No, see, when Chris Judge is talking, you just gonna have to just sit there and just apologize. Let that man speak. He's got a lot to get off his chest. And again, who's gonna tell the voice of Kratos? No. But again, let's be honest, we're all going to be watching the VGAs because we want to see, number one, are we going to see a GTA 6 trailer or are we going to see a Kingdom Hearts trailer? No offense to Farah.
It'll probably.
I know I'm not trying to rag on I'm not trying to rag on Kingdom Hearts fans because you guys, my God, they mess with y'all worse than DC fans. I'm not gonna lie. The fact of what they can mention one thing, show one Keyblade, and immediately like, are we finally gonna get something? I'm like, why are y'all teasing those poor souls? Just say you're not gonna make it.
Just announced the mobile game is officially delayed, and everyone's just like, finally, some news.
Yeah, it's just like I said, just be nice. No chase off D-Mob. Yeah, pretty much. But moving right along before we get to comic book pools, we do have a couple of episodic reviews to go over. I'm sorry, what did you say, Joe?
I said not D-Mob. Now you got me making me want Def Jam again. We know that's never going to come back.
Def Jam, all Def Jam has to do, before we talk about Invincible Fight Girl, let me just say this really quickly. Def Jam has the bank to do Fight for New York. They have the bank to literally do another Fight for New York if they wanted to. You just simply have to pay people.
Wait, was Chris Judge D-Mob?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, continue. I just saw the comment.
You know what? That's gonna be a research project. That's gonna be a research site later. That's gonna be a research thing later. But no, Def Jam could literally do, and again, I keep pointing this out. You already have, and I don't mean to say the boogeyman word. Def Jam, you have AI now. And 9 times out of 10, your artists are signed to you, which means that in some way, fashion, or form, if they choose to be a part of it, you can pay for their likeness and put them in the game. It's not that freaking hard, but it comes down to money. Def Jam could literally upset the fighting world right now and turn around there and say, yes, we are doing another fight for New York. Just don't do Icon. My God, don't ever do Icon ever again. That was by far the worst Def Jam fighting game I've ever seen. But yeah, Def Jam could literally do fight for New York if they wanted to. It's again, it comes down to money and who wants to do it. But Invincible Fight Girl, Tafara, did you watch the latest episode? And Joe, were you able to catch up?
Yeah, I caught the latest one. Was it her and M. Brandon's battle?
Yeah, beat Mr. Endless Beef Punch.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is why I've been keeping my critiques off the timeline, because that crowd of elitists is now founded on the Dead Bird app, and Lord, will they not shut the hell up?
You know what I called this episode?
What's that?
Someone's first time fighting Paul Phoenix.
I'm guessing it's a wrestling joke.
No, Paul from Tekken.
Oh,
all he does is
Paul from Tekken, because Paul's famous move was the same punch. It was called, I forgot what it was called, but basically it's a one hit quitter.
Phoenix Punch.
Thank you. Phoenix Punch is what it was called. Thank you.
I mean, that's all this was. It's like Introduction to Fighting Paul 101.
Yep. And that's all, and that's really all it was. Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we are seeing more of the supporting cast starting to pop out now for her. And of course, spoiler alert, she didn't win the match. Although she kind of made old boy think twice about his move, though. But if you're throwing the same Falcon punch every 2 seconds, come on now.
That's her fault for not blocking it.
That is true. But it was still a good episode, though. But what did you guys think?
I liked it. I like we're getting more of the supporting cast. I like that we didn't just have her show up and challenge this seasoned person and beat them with the power of willpower and friendship. Very much the Zenkai boost of I can just eat these punches and then figure it out later was interesting to see. I like that she's expanding her moveset and that she's at least got somewhat of a team going now. Definitely thought she might walk away with it, but then she didn't. I thought she was gonna go for a fake, and then I was like, nope, she's asleep.
Yeah, I caught a King of Fighters reference in this.
Where at?
Where he's doing the X cross with the blue energy. That's one of Leona's moves.
Oh yeah, Bama confirmed it. Yeah, he was. He mentioned Stargate.
Yeah, I'm trying, but this is so over the top. There's so much callback and cliche and really, really hanging on so much anime nostalgia. It's tough for me to get through it. I'm trying. Not to mention the nephew of the pro wrestler T, soon to be Roshi, is really annoying me already.
I think it's still great though. But yeah, interesting episode for that one. Tafari, anything more you want to add on to that?
So that's the critiques everyone's giving. They're like how Joe at least explained it. Everyone's just like, I know that reference from that episode and the sound effect at 34 seconds. Absolute garbage. Why didn't somebody go in the booth and record? I get it. It's what I've said. It's what I said during the last My Hero movie. It dances on the tightrope between reference and reused way too often, too quick. And I feel like there's enough good voice acting and character tropes. And it makes me wonder, if we had Twitter heavy back when Kappa Mikey was out, would we be complaining this much? Because that show almost did the same thing, but in its own facet, but was more self-aware.
Yeah.
That's another
Plus,
good show.
the Beat Crusade, my favorite Japanese band, did the theme song, so I was biased for Captain Mikey.
Okay, that's why I liked it. Just celebrated their anniversary. Part of why what made me watch Hi Hi Puffy Yumi was because they did the theme song for Teen Titans. I think the
I miss
English
the Big Crusaders.
they did the theme song for English and Japanese for Teen Titans, and then the bumpers between their episodes or the little skits of episodes was from their actual shows they would do in Japan. So I was kind of like that, but yeah, I'm like, I get it. It's almost like a glorified fan project, but people feel like it's either a love letter or it's a lazy ripoff, and that's where the arguments are beginning on Twitter. But I try to get away from it. The creators.
I don't have a problem with the voice acting or anything like that. I think it's wonderfully done and well animated. It's just late. Relying too heavily, a lot of callbacks, a lot of callbacks. It's great that I can point out such a really in-depth reference, like, oh, that's Leona's X-Slasher that M. Brandon used on. That's great. Like, some of that is fine, but like the Dragon Ball fight, the constant Dragon Ball fighting.
I hear a lot of Dragon Ball sound effects, and I'm like, that's cool, but after a while, I'm just like, all right, maybe they're saving the good A&R for later or the soundboarding. Because even the when he was just throwing the flurry of punches, I'm like, I can very much hear. I'm just like, it's almost to the point where I'm just like, maybe everyone's just been afraid to reuse these sound effects directly and didn't think they could do it, and they're the first people to show you can. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot of the complaints, or at least the over the top complaints is the all the references they get. Yeah, that's they just pointed that out.
Zangief in the episode?
No, I was saying that the Teen Titans theme is Japanese is going to be a wacky episode. That'll be interesting though. But I do agree with you guys.
Did you guys spot Zangief in this episode?
Say again.
Did you guys spot Zangief in this episode?
Oh yeah. Oh boy. The father. I want to say the father.
Well, they were showing the marketplace from what shaking from the super big punch. You see Zangief.
I have to go back. I have to go back and check it because I may have missed that.
Mythical Fight Girl, Zangief.
I may have missed that. I really may.
I know that's the thing. I know there's references that I'm not getting, which I think is fine. I think if there's if there's stuff in there that other people are finding from being like wrestling and fighting fans and anime fans, that's fine. It's just the anime references that people are dogpiling on because some people feel it's too much. And I'm just like, I get how you could have that. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm giving them time. If they get to season 2 and it's like still just the same, how much can we throw in? Then maybe we have a problem. For now, let's see how this goes.
No, fair point. But yeah, still a good episode. But moving on to our other review for Dragon Ball Diamond. I think this was episode 7, right?
Yep.
Episode 7. What do we think?
We're finally at the first Dragon Ball. I don't know. I thought we might get here sooner, but what are we? 21 episodes this season?
20 or 21?
20 or 21.
14 episodes will tell us how we're pacing this thing. Because I'm very curious if this fight wraps up next episode or we're gonna be here for a while. I like that he just admits I'm not involved in my kids being raised at all. That was very just nowhere.
It's like, I can't believe you're married and raised children. I wasn't really involved.
That's got that again. Goku, worst parent ever.
No, I mean that's just such a Team 4-star joke. But now, even they're leaning into it is great. Well, I mean, I'll put it this way: he was involved in Gohan's more than he was in Goten's.
Yeah. Although Gohan had
now involved, he's literally been with his second child for 4 months.
Yeah.
And his child is like 6 or something.
Yeah. Well, who knows the demon? Although it's kind of weird that the king has just sat there and decided to go pick up the others and just say you have been summoned to the demon realm.
No, that got set up 2 episodes ago.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking at that like just out of nowhere. It's like, okay, you guys have been summoned to catch up with the rest of the group. I said, oh, damn, that is interesting. Considering the fact they tried in the last episode, they tried, but the ship wasn't exactly fixed. But it is interesting to see what was his name? Gildo. What's his name? Start with a G. Gildo or
Gloria.
Gloria, that's what it is.
That's the name.
So there's actually a fun fan theory that the reason why Goku keeps messing up his name is that may actually be the fusion name when they use the fusion bugs.
Ah, interesting.
So it may actually be Golorio when Goku and Glorio fuse. Although more likely it's still going to be a Gogeta thing.
Yeah, but still good. I mean, it was still a good episode. I was like, okay, we're finally getting to somewhere where it's going to get to a head. But I liked it. But what did you got? Anything else you guys want to add to that?
I got nothing. That's about it for me.
I'm excited for the next episode because, I mean, the other good thing about this episode is it shows Pansy gets her ring removed by Shin, and he's like, "Oh, is this something only you guys can do?" It's like, no, anybody can do this, which is great. And then we also learned that next week is the big Tamagami fight, but it's going to be a weapon versus weapon fight, which is going to be really fun.
Well, either way, it's definitely going to be interesting. I've kind of need to expand. Hopefully next week, guys, I'll be able to talk about Superman and Lois' final season. From what I've been told, the writing has kind of went south. But again, haven't watched any of it. I'll come back week after next because next week is Turkey Week and we ain't gonna be here. But but beyond that, guys, do we have anything else before we go to comic pools?
Moon Girl's band episode, which I didn't think was that big a deal, but
yes,
it is.
Because they said what was the comment that due to the political climate of the U.S. that it was so what?
Yeah, because it was a trans character.
Yeah,
due to the political climate, they didn't think it was safe to air.
Yeah, that's what it was. Which you would think because they didn't want to air it. It got aired everywhere else supposedly, but it wasn't aired here. So again, I always find myself you would call yourself again not to take us into political waters, but come on now. If you're not progressive, just say you're not progressive. But for everybody else, get VPN. You'll save yourself a whole lot of time. That's all I'm saying about that. Just because, like I said, we want to keep it positive and friendly on this show. It's already bad enough the next 4 years is going to look like Game of Thrones in the Dark Ages. So, anything else we got, guys?
That's it for me.
Cool. All right, great. Because like I said, trying to keep it positive because we already know, next 2025 to 2029 is going to be. Anyway, that being said, before we get to our comic book, guys, we do always want to show love to Rick's Comic City, Nashville's #1 place to go to for comic books, for collectibles, for Funkos, mangas, you name it, they got it. 2 locations, Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. Of course, their website, rickscomiccity.com. Let the guys know at GetBit. Let them know the guys from GetBit sent you. Doesn't get you any discounts, but you see us on their televisions. They show us love, so we want to show them love. Definitely check them out if you are in the Middle Tennessee area. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places to where you'll be able to get an experience. Libraries not only keep the most up-to-date comic books and mangas, some libraries actually keep video games. Yes, you can actually get video games from your library. So again, guys, these are the places that actually need your patronage right now to survive, especially with the fact that we're seeing more indie comic book creators, people of color comic book creators, and just great ideas and new characters that are coming out that certainly need your attention. They need your dollars. They need your circulation, because without that, these lives don't exist. So again, guys, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. You will miss them when they are gone. Joe, I do see you have it up, sir. So whenever you're ready. You're muted, sir.
We got a book came out that I didn't even realize was coming out. The Question, All Along the Watchtower. This is Renee Montoya is back as the Question, and her job in this new status of DC is to keep an eye on everybody in the Watchtower and make sure everybody is on the up and up. She's teamed up with both Blue Beetles and longtime girlfriend, sometimes lover, Batwoman. This is written by Alex Segarra with art by Sam Tormey and colors by Romulo Fernando Jr. I think it's an excellent premise and it's a good idea.
Oh yeah, it was definitely an interesting setup. I do like the fact that they are keeping with the new reformed Justice League and the fact of the Watchtower having issues and introducing an enemy I haven't seen since Superman. So yeah, I dig it. It makes me want to keep reading this one.
Yep. Next up, Wonder Woman 15. Written by Tom King, art by Daniel Sampere, doing God's work on this art. And Tomu Mori for colors. Diana's had enough. She's a mom. She is trying to put her little child to bed while all the other Wonder Girls are pretty much doing hit and runs on certain locations and either robbing them, stealing artifacts, stealing jewels, or stealing magical items. We learned that they have single-handedly bankrupted the presidency of the United States shadow government.
Yep, the sovereign.
We get this final picture. We get this final picture of Diana with her daughter. She's like, "Oh no, she's mad. She's mommy mad now."
Yeah, I will say
really,
this.
Really good thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say, Joe?
I was going to say this also has an excellent backup with Steve Trevor in Elysium just being unhappy, which is something that's not feasibly possible, supposed to be possible.
Yeah, because
so really good. So what do you think?
No, I mean I did like the supplemental about Steve being Elysium and not being happy because he can't be with Diana, which is kind of awkward. This is why I say Tom King, whenever it comes to his Wonder Woman writing, it's either hit or miss. And don't get me wrong, this is following her and basically her creating her and Steve's child. And the fact that she wants to get even with the sovereign and everybody that was around him, I completely get that. I just think it was a long way of actually getting to the point. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the premise of where they're going with this, but this was a little bit too long in the tooth for me on this one. That's when I would probably consider a miss.
I consider it a hit because it used all the Wonder Girls efficiently. Because those are basically Diana's advisors. Next up, we got Predator versus Black Panther #4, written by Ben Percy, with art by a lot of people. Chris Allen, Craig Yoon, Jonas Trinidad, Sean DeMille with Jonas Trinidad as inks, and Lee Ferguson. This is the finale of the Black Panther Predator part. We get to see Wakanda Prince Predator, King Predator, or at least the commanding officer Predator going up against T'Challa while other Predators are out there killing people killing Wakandans left and right. We see a couple of the white armor Wakandan suits, a couple of Dora Milaje edicts. We also get to see the King of the Predators and the Prince of all Predators in this as well. So we get to see the Predator hierarchy. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait to see this transition over into Spider-Man and see what that's about.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I didn't like was really? this is how you know they did answer the old question: what would happen if Predator and Black Panther went 1-on-1, and the Predator kind of took a solid retreat, but Shuri's like, yeah, you're not getting back there. Which I did like how they did wrap up that story, because again, you kind of have to be weird with Predator, because either he's going to win or he's going to lose badly. And in this case, they really did turn around and you kind of gave us the ending that we wanted and the continuation to make it keep going into Spider-Man 1. So, yeah, I definitely liked it. Wonder Woman is a mom. Yep. Bama, she is. And technically, Steve didn't really hit.
Also, this is apparently happening.
Say what?
Also, technically, I think this is happening in like the 80s or 90s, because Falcon was in his original costume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, there is a Spider-Man versus Predator, Bama. We actually did announce that earlier in the show that that is the next comic in the Predator line.
All right, next up we got the finale for Chasm Curse of Cain. Ben and Cain fights. Because of Ben's bizarre powers, he's able. Cain makes him hit himself with his own axe, so that severs the connection with Druig, and Druig can't use it anymore. We also get to see that his girlfriend has a Godzilla mask, and that they will be back at some point.
Weirdest.
Curse of Cain, fine. It's gonna go in my Ben Reilly collection, but like it's fine.
It was it's amazing how one was concerned about the other, but the other was like, yeah, you'll be all right. Just multiple times in this story was like, he'll live. It's like, shouldn't you help him fight the, humongous overgrown Demon King? Oh, nope, he's got it.
Oh, yeah.
Just the level of petty, but it was an interesting issue. I will say that. It was interesting.
I do like the finale where like some of the demon monsters are still running around in the city, and Gabe's like, so we hope it's like, yeah, you don't know what's been going on. Is like, we're not really looked happily upon right now because of things. Don't worry about that. Right. You go ahead and go. We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, you can definitely
Bama,
help.
you do not need to catch up on Amazing Spider-Man.
No. He can catch up now. Now where it's starting again, not backwards.
Start now.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they actually said in the editorial that Ben and Mary Jane can start dating again and be a couple. They just can never be married again.
Oh dear God! Not that
because they can be married and they can be married happily in the Ultimate Universe.
They just want to give Spider-Man hell. I just realized at this point.
I don't know.
The cover with held up by the cover with Peter being held up by a skull by the Predator. I'm just like, okay, but how? How do you even, invisibility or not, spider sense? How do you end up in that position?
That is the $65 million question we're all asking.
We'll learn. So it has also been announced that Zeb Wells will be returning to write a Chasm book with Cain and Ben later on. I am okay with this because I think Zeb Wells does do a good job with Ben Reilly. I don't think he does a good job with Peter Parker, but I do think he has a good voice for Ben Reilly. So I am looking forward to that when he comes back.
Fair.
Keeping with Spider-Man, we're going over to Miles. We're continuing the anime, the Wakandan suit, the vibranium suit, where he just like fights Vulture. Eventually, his girlfriend, who is the granddaughter of Vulture, fights Vulture, and the fight ends. And then Black Panther's like, "Okay, kids, we're going to Wakanda. Get in the back of the car."
That's pretty much what it was. It's like, hey, we might figure out your vampire problem. We gotta go to Wakanda to figure it out. Was. Road trip. That's all it was.
Good book. Excellent fighting issue. I do like the new suit. Can't wait for it to be in the video game at some point. Speaking of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man number 11, written. Oh, wait, we got to do the thing. Miles Morales was written by Cody Ziegler with art by Federico Valentini and colors by Brian Valencia. Ultimate Spider-Man is written by John Hickman with guest art by Dave Menusa and colors by Matthew Wilson. Ultimate Spider-Man number 11. Very good issue. This is the big let's have a talk issue where Peter takes on Mr. Negative. It doesn't go great, and then takes to talk to Mary Jane. Mary Jane's like, look, I've been patient with you. I'm fine with this. I understand why you got to do this. Do I need to be worried? And Peter's like, right now I got this. But the moment I tell you to go, run.
Right.
And then she's like, rewards him with his honesty. He's like, so the kids are out. You want to fool around? And he's like, I got this thing with Uncle Ben, but afterwards, yes.
that was funny.
I did like that. She's like, so you want to fool around? He's like, I got a thing, but yes, afterwards. And then he goes meets his Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben just like tells like, look, I'm old. I've buried my wife. Something's going to happen at some point, and I will die, and it will not be your fault. By the way, how many people know you're Spider-Man?
That was some hellified foreshadowing, wasn't it? That was some hellified foreshadowing. Yeah. He's like, I lived my life, I buried my wife. He said, can you say the same? I was like, okay. I did like how that conversation was worded, because he sat there and said, yes, I know who you are. I've known for a while now. And it
took me and Jonas like a week to figure out who Harry was.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that are they already foreshadowing that Uncle Ben may no longer be a part of the picture? Yes.
That's fine, because we've already seen that this Peter being older, he can probably handle that death, and it's not going to weigh on his heart and soul for the rest of his life, making him make poor life decisions constantly. Right. This is probably like Ben just tells us like, can't wait to read Ultimate Spider-Man. No, the Spider-Man is like the best Spider-Man book on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like Ben just telling us like, if something happens, it's okay. I've lived my life. This is me giving you permission to not feel bad.
Right.
By the way, Jonah's probably going to take another week or two to figure out your Spider-Man. Get your ducks in order. This is just a good issue. Like, amazing.
Huh. No, completely agree with you. Uncle Ben had a good
kind of a miss thing with Black Cat, but I do like that continuity.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like a throwaway.
Okay, moving over to Scarlet Witch, written by Steve Orlando. Whoever that guy is, seems nice. Make him on the show. Art by Lorenzo Tometa and colors by Frank William. Pretty much just Scarlet Witch gets a new protege in the version of a witch named Amaranth, who may or may not have the ability to magical power is to cancel out magical powers.
Pretty much. She's the Black Clover of the bunch.
Yes, she has the Moo, which was an old manga that got like made, was really good and canceled too soon. Good issue. Art's fantastic. I dig Amaranth. It's cool. I really dug the Magitech armor. That was really cool to watch, or really cool to read. Can't wait till next issue because Wanda and her kids are back.
Yeah. Although it's interesting to see Agatha Harkness in this series, but considering the fact that we just had Agatha's all along, it makes sense for it to be tied right about now.
Oh yeah. Move over to Exceptional X-Men. This is written by Eve L. Ewing, art by Carmen Carino, and colors by Nolan Woodard. Emma and Kitty keep on fighting because this is just Generation X constantly, and I love it because I'm a huge Generation X fan. We set up a It's just a big setup issue. Learning their powers. We get a dance studio. Emma puts them in a psychic battle, which they don't realize till later. Everybody gets named. It's just a fun issue. I love Emma to death in this because she's back to her old 90s Gen X version of herself where she is such a bitch, but she has a point.
Sorry to say I didn't get to see this one, so I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it on this one.
Alrighty.
I know what they accept. No, you're good. I was like, I just had to have.
It's been great. Lead Storm, issue 2, written by Mirwa Iodele, color artist by Lucas Wernick, and colors by Alex Ramirez. Storm's not feeling that great, goes to a doctor. The doctor says, I don't treat X-Men. Storm's like, why? You treat mutants. It's like, yeah, but I don't treat X-Men. It's like, that's my one rule. I won't treat you guys. And then we actually learn why. And he actually makes a very understandable argument. It's not racism or sexism or anything. It's everybody in the superhero community helped pay to get this hospital up and running. Everybody except the X-Men.
At the same
And
time,
he is a doctor who specializes in mutant. Huh?
Now I was gonna say at the same time they mentioned you had Krakoa, you had medicine, you basically have immortality, and you didn't share it.
Well, they did share. They just didn't share with him.
Right.
Yeah. So Storm's like, well, I got this thing from my mom. And just like, now I treat X-Men. By the way, you got 6 days to live, 6 hours to live.
That's still messed up.
But no, good issue. Again, I like the 80s black costume she's wearing now.
Yeah. And the surprise
where it's kind of
at
like
the
a fusion of all her old costumes in one costume.
Yeah. But I just like the surprise. I like the twist at the end. That I was like, that makes sense to introduce that into the Storm story. But I'll leave that be. But yeah, it was great. It was a great issue.
And then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Naruto. Holy crap. This is written by Caleb Goliner, artwork by Hendry Prasetya, and colors by Raul Angelo. Okay. So this is not, I was like trying to figure out how this worked out. The Turtles did not get isekai'd. These are the Ninja Turtles of the Naruto universe.
Right.
This is old school Team 6. Apparently before the Chunin exam because they're on a B level.
Yeah.
Or this is after the maybe after the Chunin exam because
this is pre. This is pre-Chunin.
Yeah.
This is pre-Chunin.
It may be pre-Chunin exam because Sasuke may or may not have the bite. I'm not sure. It's kind of like alluded to. We just know it's really early on in Naruto. And we have to take April O'Neil, who is very well designed in this. I thought she was going to be Village Hidden in the Mist. Apparently she's from Big Apple Village. And they need to take her back, escort her back to Big Apple Village. And on the way, they are attacked by the Foot Clan, led by a mutant fox. And the turtles stop it, but of course, you got to have your heroes fight everybody, so the heroes fight everybody. It's what you think. Sasuke's going after Leonardo. Naruto and Mikey fight each other. Donnie's got to go up against Kakashi, poor Kakashi. And Sakura... No, this is way after that. Way after that, because Tsunade is Hokage. This is way after Chunin exam. But before Sasuke rescue arc.
Yeah, so if she's Hokage, this is before he flees the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before he leaves. I was just like, no, this is later in Naruto. I know it is. Because Sakura's got the super strength, and like Raphael's going like, oh geez, oh god.
Oh, Raphael had a
And she's
moment.
like tossing. Yeah. So these are the, I don't know what the turtles constitute as. Village hidden in the sewers?
I do like the fact that Kakashi just immediately recognized Splinter. That was interesting. Kakashi's like, it has been a while, and then he called him by his actual name. Like, okay, that you got my attention with this issue. You better follow it up with something fire on the next one. That's all I gotta sit there and say.
This is so weird. Like, so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see how Splinter and the Foot play into a more accurate setting for them with this.
They were background on this one. You want to talk about the Foot appeared and literally got decimated in 5 seconds. And that's how much. I'm not gonna say they're much of a background story, but they felt like a background character on this one. It was almost down near NPC level. But it was still
fun to read. Feel about this one.
I'm reading it.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping this would be like Shippuden Naruto meets Ninja Turtles, not younger Naruto.
Oh, I'm reading this one because you're not going to sit there. Here's my thing. You're not going to sit there and all of a sudden Kakashi and Splinter know each other, and you're not going to explain that one. Oh no, I want to know. And then April didn't help being an instigator. Talking about filming for content. So that was petty.
This was a book. Mm-hmm. This is a book that you can read.
Who knew April O'Neil would be a freaking instigator between two ninja clans?
I get content.
Mm-hmm. That was petty. It was petty of her is what that was.
All right, that's all the books that are fit to read. I don't even know what's going to
be. All right. Well, thank you for that, Joe. And as we wrap it up, guys, we do always want to thank people who liked, who shared, who let this podcast know it was live. We thank you very much for that. And I'm going to start first with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tafari. I let the people know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on all platforms underneath this name. I try to post pretty regularly. I am trying to get a good balance going between uploading regular videos and streaming and learning how to clip streaming, even though TikTok makes it annoying. I just did a video today for the Marvel vs. Capcom physical release. By the way, if you buy it, the comic is inside the book. It's not something you get when you pick it up. Just fair warning. Don't almost crash out of Best Buy like I did. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, you can catch me streaming. I am on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Also, same name. I do the walk and talk streams. I am on a treadmill, chatting up with y'all. I usually have some kind of retro hookup. Other than that, Blurred's Eye View, editing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have an interview out for Sonic 3 with Lee Majdub, who plays Agent Stone. Cool guy. It's only like 7 minutes. If you get time, check it out.
All right. And Joe, sir, will let people know what you're doing, sir?
I'm everywhere. I'm tired. I'm on the couch a lot. If I'm not working, I'm streaming over at Total Justice Gaming with giant robots because that's what I'm using the channel for now. Wednesday nights I get with Tafari. We review Ultraman Arc, the new Ultraman. Because that's wrapping up soon, and it's going to get really confusing for us to review on Friday next week or next Wednesday because of just the content of the episode itself is super weird. If I'm playing Street Fighter, you can catch me over at Joe Italian last name on Twitch. Other than that, just playing Mech Warrior again, trying to finish out the game. After that, we'll probably be shifting over into Megaton Musashi because I'm just going to keep playing giant robot games as long as I can find them. If not, you can find me here over at Blue Sky with Show Guy Joe over at Blue Sky because that's a place to be now. There's less violence, more harmony. It's kind of like the Simpsons world with the world without lawyers where everyone's happy and in peace.
First thing they do is kill.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I was thinking of a Mel Brooks joke. First thing they do is kill all the lawyers.
I mean, what do you need them for? Oh yeah, that was Simpsons news we forgot to cover. Pamela Hayden retired.
Oh, who the
yeah, I
voice
did see
Millhouse?
that.
Oh yeah, she used to voice Millhouse. I'm sorry.
We're gonna need a new Wiener Kid. So that's everywhere you can find me. Just gonna be working or shooting things with lasers or robots, or if Megaton Musashi is what I think it is, screaming out attack names before doing them.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, before I get to myself, shameless plugging myself as usual. Shout out to Blur Station. Again, this is the table that we've always asked for our content, our viewership, and most importantly, our monetary goes back into our pockets. Tubi is great, but Tubi is owned by the same guy who owns Fox, and Tubi is now worth well over $100 million because of our viewership. That very same monetary can go back into our pockets, and Blur Station is where it can be done. Blur Station has television shows, it has movies, it has animation, it has basically everything you need for your streaming pleasure. Definitely hit the join now button at blurstation.com. Please select the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership. Any affiliate member there, whether myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari TV, or anybody else there, you can definitely select them. We would appreciate it. It's $10.99 a month to stream Blur Station. $10.99 a month. After 36 months, you do have the ability to own a piece of Blur Station, and it doesn't get any easier to own a piece of a network like that. But definitely check out blurstation.com. Also check out Always Press Record or APR TV on the app. Why? Because our show can be seen there along with others. Again, another table to where our content, our viewership, and most importantly, our monetary goes back in our own pockets. Definitely check out APR TV or alwayspressrecord.com. We would certainly appreciate that. As for myself, guys, you can find me Black_Spartan615 on the socials, as I usually cover everything. You can also catch myself and Tafari TV and others on Blur's Eye View every Tuesday and every Thursday. Again, the link at the bottom, guys, will make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, take you to our link tree. That's the YouTube, Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. Like, share, and subscribe. We cannot do this simply without you. A like, a share, and a follow costs nothing, but means everything, and we would certainly appreciate it. Also, again, guys, we are definitely going to not be back next Friday. Why? Because, next week is Turkey Week. We plan to enjoy ourselves and be around our families and enjoy some good food. And hopefully you guys can definitely do the same. Also, again, cons are winding down, but the rule still applies, guys. Number one, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please treat people like human beings. Treat them like human beings. Treat them the way you would like to be treated. It's not that freaking hard. Number two is hygiene. Please wash your ass. Please wear clean clothes. Please present yourself. We are now entering in the cold flu season. It is way too easy to catch a cold. COVID is still hanging around, along with new diseases. Simply put, guys, protect yourselves, protect others. Simply put, wash your ass. And number third rules I have for myself as I have for everybody else, guys. In a world that is cruel and is unkind, be nice, be kind. Talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. Now, with everybody, guys, like we said, we'll probably have a repeat episode up next Friday just because, well, like we said, Thursday's Turkey Day and Friday's Recovery Day. Because, after eating such good food, you don't want to eat off the couch. Definitely check out Tafari TV on Twitch and on TikTok because the man plays video games on a treadmill. That is impressive in my freaking opinion. Definitely check out Show Guy Joe on YouTube and also on Blue Sky because he makes people rage quit. I go back and I watch the Street Fighter 6 clip where he made a guy rage quit only because the guy thought he was doing something with Akuma. And Joe, well, let's just say Joe humbled him. And I do mean humble.
Anytime
But
I have
again,
to teach you this lesson, old man.
it's just funny how he humbled him in that. But again, check those guys out. I will eventually get back to streaming and playing. It's just like, I have, as you probably guys have seen, my daughter has literally been on my hips since the beginning of this podcast. So life be lifing as a dad. But I do try to game and get in where I can, because I definitely want to get back into fighting games, especially with the slew of them coming out. But with that being said, guys, again, simply be nice. Like I said, we're getting to the point to where if you can just do something kind for somebody, do something kind. Do something that can make somebody happy. The world could use more of that. But before we call it a night, guys, any last words?
I got nothing. Game Awards. Vote, I guess, for what you got. We'll see how this plays out.
Joe?
If you close your eyes while eating Thanksgiving dinner, the calories don't count.
At this point, I just want my mac and cheese and turkey. But anyway, that being said, I've been Spartan. He's been Joe. He's been Tafari. This has been Give It Podcast, guys. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We will be back the week after with whatever news comes out. Aside from that, enjoy your turkey. We out. Peace.